You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
From the volleyball capital of the world, Muncie, Indiana, we welcome you to Worthen Arena for some Saturday Mid-American Conference action as the Ball State Cardinals host the Buffalo Bulls. My name is Maxwell Gillie. Excited to be joined by Lukas Thatcher. You'll get to hear from Tyler Klimes in just a few minutes. But, Lukas, this is an exciting one because Buffalo comes in here as the number one seed for the MAC.
Yeah, and this match has a lot of expectations for both sides. For Ball State, this is a team who was undefeated against Buffalo all time in this building. So they expect to come out here and they want to take down the number one seed as of right now. But Buffalo, they got a chip on their shoulder. They got something to prove. Not a lot of people thought that they would be in this spot, at the number one spot in the MAC right now. But they're proving the haters wrong. They're proving the doubters wrong. And they're trying to prove right now that this is a legit team, a legit contender to win the MAC.
So Ball State 28-3 all-time versus Buffalo. Those wins were at Buffalo back in 2010 and then sweeping Ball State last year in Buffalo. And I want to talk a little bit about Buffalo's team from last year because it was a pretty historic team by Buffalo standards.
Absolutely. It was the best season that they've had since becoming a D1 program. So they have done a great job under Scott Smith, head coach, and he's come in here and he's really laid down the plan for a great program, a contender every year. And last year, the record of 23-9, that was their first 20-win season since 1995. Max, that team last year was really good. This year, they want to be even better.
So looking at the teams this year, we'll start first with Ball State. They are 10-7 this year, 2-2 at home, 3-3 in the MAC. That is currently tied for sixth. It is early in the season, but what can you tell us a little bit about Ball State?
Well, Ball State, they're a bit of a younger team now, especially compared to what we saw last year. But this is still the Ball State Cardinals. This is still a very, very good volleyball team. This is still one of the best teams in the MAC, and they just haven't gotten off to the start in MAC play that they've wanted to. 3-3 is not bad. 3-3 is not terrible. That's 500, but this team expects to be at the top of the MAC in one of those top three spots every single season. So I think this is definitely still a team that could end up in one of those spots at the end of the year.
Meanwhile, Buffalo 9-10 this year, but they are 5-1 in the MAC. That is first in the conference, and they are on a 5-game win streak. What can you tell us about Buffalo?
Well, they're turning it up when it matters. They're 5-1, as you said, 5-game win streak, 5-1 against MAC opponents, and they're playing. They're out of their minds right now. They have really been playing well, coming off a big win last night in 5. And I mean, this team is just competing, and I really do think that they have a chip on their shoulders every time that I watch them play. And they're looking to prove that they're a legit team, and this is a program on the rise.
So I want to talk a little about Buffalo's game last night. Again, it was a 3-2 victory in a 5-set thriller at Miami of Ohio. Buffalo won sets 1 and 2, fell in sets 3 and 4, ended up winning set 5, 15-7. But this has been a bit of a long road trip. They have to get bussed all the way from Buffalo down to Miami, then take about the 90-minute drive up here to Muncie. It's been a busy couple days for Buffalo.
Absolutely, but you know what that does, Max? That just builds team chemistry and it builds character. These players are growing closer as a team because they're going through adversity together, and I think that in this building where they are winless, if they could pull out a win tonight, this road trip would be so extremely successful. And then they go back to home to play a couple of the top teams in the MAC right now.
Meanwhile, for Ball State, they had a 3-0 sweep last night against Akron here. And a couple big plays from Allende Smith. She hit 917. That's a program record. Carson Tyler had 13 kills. Megan Wolonsky had 20 assists. And that was definitely a good win for Ball State last night.
Yeah, it gets them at that 500 mark against MAC opponents, and it also is just a very convincing win. They swept last night, and they did it very convincingly, and they did it confidently. So that builds a little bit of confidence and gives you a little more swagger walking into this match tonight.
Of course, a busy time in the Mid-American Conference. Last night, again, all 12 teams were in action. Toledo had a 3-0 sweep against Eastern Michigan. Western Michigan swept Kent State. Ohio swept at NIU. But the big one we want to talk about, Central Michigan Bowling Green. It went 5 sets in Bowling Green. Central Michigan ended up getting the win there against a really good Bowling Green team.
Yeah, I've seen that Bowling Green State team play 2 times this year, and each time they impressed me. They look very, very good. And taking it to 5 cents against Central Michigan, one of the better teams in the MAC, arguably the best team in the MAC. Maybe not, right now because of Buffalo's 5-1, but Central Michigan is 5-2 against MAC opponents, so they just have that one more game that they've played and have just lost that extra game. But, they're 14-5 on the season so far, Central Michigan is. So both of those teams are both contenders to win the MAC for sure. And I think that most people expected them to be contenders to win the MAC. And that match was exactly what we wanted it to. It lived up to the hype.
So let's now turn our attention to both of the coaches here for today's game. We're going to start first with Buffalo's Scott Smith. He is 81-85 in 6 years at Buffalo, but he has really turned around this Buffalo squad.
Absolutely, and he's in his 6th season here as head coach, and when he took over in 2019, he took Buffalo to their first MAC tournament victory, their first match victory in the MAC tournament since 2009. So he came in and made an immediate impact, and he is really building something special here. As, again, we talked about last year, the 23-9 season that they had. He's done such an excellent job, and he's come in here. He's bringing a lot of energy and a lot of passion, and this Buffalo team now plays with a chip on their shoulder every single match, and I think a lot of it has to do with their head coach, Scott Smith.
And it's important to remember that Buffalo is the 12th winningest program in the MAC. Meanwhile, Ball State, the winningest MAC program, and one of the reasons why has been their head coach in Kelly Miller-Phillips. She is 159-95 in 9 years here at Ball State.
It's so crazy that she's already in her 9th season here, because all she's done here is put up a competitive and contending team every single year. There's a reason that she's won MAC Coach of the Year 2 times, because she's simply one of the best coaches in the MAC. Every single year, she gets her team to be one of the top, if not the top team in the MAC, and every single year, she gets a competitive and great season out of the players that she has.
Now it's time to take a look at some of those impact players. Let's start first with Buffalo.
For Buffalo, I'm going to go with their setter, Mandy Lee. Mandy Lee on the season with 594 assists. And, she's just a senior who gets it done, has leadership, leads her team out there on the court, and she's been getting it done for 4 years now. She's been the primary setter since her freshman year. She's just always been very solid and extremely motivated, especially here tonight, where she has not gotten a single win in this building.
And, of course, for Ball State, who are you looking at?
I'm going to look at Megan Wolonsky, the setter for Ball State. It's very similar to Mandy Lee. She's a senior, and she's been the primary setter since coming here to Ball State as a freshman. And just like Mandy Lee, she has been so consistent and so good. Wolonsky, just one of the best setters in the entire MAC, and she's also one of the best servers in the MAC, one of the better servers on the Cardinals. So she brings a lot of versatility and leadership to her team.
And now let's turn our attention to some of the keys to the match.
Number one, we're going to look for Ball State here. They need to, on that front row, they need to keep the front row for Buffalo on their toes and be ready for some trickery.
What about for Buffalo?
They need to establish a quick attack against Ball State here tonight. They want to get some points up early, and they really just need to get that offense going against this great Ball State front row.
So the stage is set. Buffalo, the number 1 team in the MAC, traveling to Ball State, looking to get their first win here at Worthen Arena. Well, my name has been Maxwell Gillie. That was Lukas Thatcher. Tyler Klimes is going to take us the rest of the way here on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie,
Your home for live Ball State sports. For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is Sports Link Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Papergo toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Two in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Well, if you're just tuning in, you missed a lot, but you have not missed the match yet. You missed a great pre-match show hosted by Max Gillie. We'll be producing from here on out, but you still have Lukas Thatcher, and I'm Tyler Klimes. Thanks for joining us here at Worthen Arena. It's the Ball State Cardinals and the Buffalo Bulls, and what should be a good one. Number one team in the conference today. Lukas, I know you talked a little bit about it in the pre-match show, but just break down, what are the expectations you think you're going to see here tonight? Well, this game is going to be something different. It's going to be incredible because we have so much to look forward to. Historic seasons, great setters, all of it coming up in just a couple of minutes. The match will be here soon on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards and everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pregame Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pregame Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Well, welcome back to Worthen Arena. Right now, we're in the starting lineups in what should be a fun match tonight. Number 1 team in the conference, Buffalo Bulls, facing off against the number 6 team in the conference, the Ball State Cardinals, playing host to the Bulls today. Getting the intro video now for the Ball State Cardinals. Huge environment in Worthen Arena. Saturday night, it's autograph night on Saturday at Worthen. As this video plays, we are going to take ourselves into a brief break, and we will be right back in just a couple of minutes. Stick with us and bear with us, and this game will be back underway soon.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU Sports Link.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. Ball State Cardinals getting announced now, their starting lineup. We'll have that for you soon. The stakes are set at Worthen. I'm Tyler Klimes, joined by Lukas Thatcher. Lukas, thanks for being here today. I'm excited to see what goes on in this excellent match as we continue on with play tonight. Lukas, what are you expecting to see tonight out of both sides? Having some technical difficulties, so just stick with us just for a moment. Until we're able to get those resolved, I will start us off with a wonderful matchup tonight at Worthen. Starting lineup for Ball State: Carson Tyler, Gwen Kroll, who had a good night last night, Megan Wolonsky, the star setter, Katie Eganoff, Ayende Smith, who had one of the best nights of her career ever last night, and lastly, Madison Buckley on the Ball State side. On the other side, for the Buffalo Bulls, a couple of star players as well. two sisters. One out on the court, the other not right now. Mandy Lee, the setter for the Buffalo Bulls, and excited to see what she's going to bring tonight. But we're going to get this one started. It's Megan Wolanski, the star setter, to serve. Luli Arcucci tries to go for a line shot, does not work. Wolanski to Ayende Smith. Middle shot does not go. Tipped over. Ball State now playing. Wolanski, middle. Smith. It goes, but just in front of the net, not able to get it over. Buffalo picks up the first point tonight.
Good play up front by Kaya Shaw for the Bulls. Able to get that block down and score the first point.
Still having some technical difficulties. We'll try and figure that out. Stick with me. Second point. Madison Buckley blocked up front. That's Abby Lee, the tall middle blocker. So reliable all year long for Ball State.
Yeah, somebody that they have really been able to lean on.
Lukas, it's good to have you back. We got the technical difficulties, but 3 points in. We are ready for some action. Ledbetter to Wolanski, has to tip up. 2-0 Bulls make that 3-0. Maybe a Cardinal in the net on that one.
So early on, the Bulls have taken the first 3 points of this match, something that the Cardinals did not want to see because Ball State has been so good this season when they win the first match. The first set.
Maria Feudy serves. Ledbetter on the defensive side for the Cardinals. Going to Katie Eganoff off the top of the block, and that's the first point of the night for the Cardinals. Katie Eganoff getting it done.
And now you just need to get points right off if you're the Cardinals. Get on a run here, get on a roll, get some steam going, get some momentum, and hopefully put some points up against the Bulls.
So the Cardinals with their first chance to serve since the start when Wolanski kicked us off. But now it's Eganoff. Into the nest. It's going to be a service error for Eganoff earlier on in set one. 4-1, Bulls up.
Serving now for the Bulls is Eve Adams, the freshman from New York.
Tipped up, Carson Tyler's first action of the night. Wolanski has to go to Ledbetter. Going back to Carson Tyler once more. Tipped over the block and finds it right near the 10-foot line. Carson Tyler getting involved early. The freshman star from New York playing her home state team.
And that's what you want to do if you're the Cardinals. Get Carson Tyler going early so she can build some momentum. And when Carson Tyler gets going, she is almost impossible to stop.
Josie Bloom to serve. Pops it over. Set up by Lee. Outside blocked by the Cardinals. Back to the Buffalo Bulls side. Going again, this time to Forland, who gets it over. Madison Buckley tries to get over herself, not able to go. Wolanski again setting. This time middle. Good try from Kroll, but not able to get it. And it's Abby Lee getting in there alongside her sister Mandy Lee, who got the job done setting it over. She's lethal at the front line. She is a setter, but she can get a lot of kills, and we saw that right on that play.
Absolutely, and Mandy Lee went one-on-one there with Carson Tyler, and the senior is the one who took down the freshman.
Serve coming from Forland. It's away, back set to Buckley. Finding the open space on the hardwood. Kill for Madison Buckley, making this one step closer. It's 3-5. Cardinals still down, but now serving.
Well, you can't ask for it to be any better. Ton of hardwood to find there for Buckley, and she found it straight down to the ground and an easy point for the Cardinals.
It's Lindsey Green coming in to serve, one of the setters on this team. Saw some time in last night's match as well. Cross shot, it's good from Abby Lee. The middle blocker shifting to the side in order to get that one and now heads back to the service line.
Tough one to receive there for Eganoff. Well, not able to put it up. That one was a missile from the Bulls, and now they're up 6-3 over the Cards.
Abby Lee so good in that front line and from the service line. And it's tipped over, a smart play from Lindsey Green, picking up a Megan Wolanski trip, just tipping it right over the net. High IQ from Lindsey Green.
And you don't usually see that from Lindsey Green, as usually Megan Wolanski's the one out there as the setter. She's on the bench right now, and Green stepping up and doing a great job getting the kill.
Carson Tyler serves. Set up. It was Forland trying to get it done, but not able to get it back. Kroll, kill attempt, no good. Back to the Bulls now. Cross shot blocked up front. Goes out of bounds, so Bulls will get the point. A couple of Cardinals try to get up there, hit too far. 7-4, Buffalo.
You just talked about Gwen Kroll, and the transfer from Bowling Green State has done a nice job stepping into this Cardinals team and making an impact so far this year.
Serve coming into the net. It was Mandy Lee, the star setter who we've talked so much about that time. Put the ball into the net.
And Lee, one of the better, this is Mandy Lee. There's two Lees. I got to make sure I specify tonight. Mandy Lee, one of the better servers for the Bulls.
Not a coincidence for those two Lees. They're sisters. We'll talk more about that as this game goes on. Sets up for Mandy Lee, going to their star player. It's the first action we've seen from Trevihavska on the Buffalo Bulls side. Cross-shot kill. 8-5 Bulls.
That's somebody else who could be very dangerous for the Bulls, as she is second on the team in kills this year.
Trevihavska so great at the service line. Giant jump serve this time into the net, but gets over. Set from Green. Tipped over by Eganoff. Now onto the Bulls side. Played by Feudy. Back to Arcucci, and it's blocked up front. The star player last night, Ayende Smith.
And Ayende, I'm going to shout out my guy, Evan Stowell. He likes to call her the block queen. Well, I think he's absolutely right with that. She has been a force at the net this year.
She really, really has 70 blocks this season, leads the team. Molansky serves. Chasing it is Lee. Forlin hits it over, right to Ledbetter on the other side. Back row attack from Carson Tyler off the net. Was a tip. They're going to say it was not. So 4 hits from the Ball State Cardinals. Bulls earn the point, up 9-6.
And right now, Buffalo's doing a great job of keeping pace. They're not letting Ball State rack off a lot of points in a row. They're able to get that ball back to serve, and they're putting up points on the board at a great pace.
Maria Feudy, a libero serving to the other libero on the other side, Ledbetter. To Wilansky, Ayende Smith off the top of the block. Controlled by the back row. Middle blocker goes up. Abby Lee, a sister combination almost had. Now Buckley for the Cardinals. Blocked up front. Tools out of bounds. Ball State with a point, 7-9.
And I think that Manuela Forlin was in place there to get that block and put it straight down. Just got off the wrong part of her hand, but she had great positioning up at the net on that right side.
Seeing Katie Eganoff at the line. Had a strong start last match at the service line. Lee setting far side. Near the end line, they're going to say it's out. The shot came from Manuela Forlin, but the Cardinals will get the point.
Another opportunity for Forlin where she was in great position. She had Hardwood back in the back open, not able to find that exact spot where she wanted to put it, though. Just a little bit too much.
Eganoff, who had 2 aces in a row in set number 1 last night, serves. Handled, set up. Arcucci goes for it, too far out of bounds. It was Eganoff letting her go right past her shoulder, and she steps back to serve again.
Well, Tyler, history repeats itself. That's back-to-back plays where the Bulls have had the opportunity in the hardwood to be able to get a kill and have just put too much behind it and put it out beyond the out of bounds.
And with that, that ties it up at 9, and number 9 serves. Eganoff, that's off. Trevihavska goes for it. A high pass. Rolling it off. And goes out of bounds. Another kill from Manuela Forlin tonight. Seen a couple from her.
And that's exactly what Buffalo wants to do. Get Forlin going, because that is probably the star player for this team, especially in terms of getting kills.
Still waiting for Trevihavska to get going as well for the Bulls. Another star player on that side. Eve Adams, the freshman, enters the game to serve. See her a lot of times serving. Buckley for the Cardinals. Finding the end gap in the defense. Madison Buckley with a kill coming in. She had 135. Make that 136.
Madison Buckley has always done such a great job in her career, for the entirety of her career, of answering when her number is called.
Josie Bloom for Ball State. Puts it away. Trevihavska grabs it. Setting outside Forlin. Blocked. It was Kroll up there in the front row, but blocks it out of bounds. The Buffalo Bulls pick up a point.
And the Bulls, again, doing a great job of keeping pace. Another spot where they were tied in that set, and they're going to pull ahead again as they have been leading for the majority of this first set.
Trying to extend that lead. Forlin serves off the net, trickles down, controlled by the Cardinals. Polanski tried to tip it over, but they were ready that time. Trevihavska off the block. You're going to say it did hit the ground, some confusion, but Trevihavska rewarded the kill. 12-7 Bulls.
And what a run for Buffalo right now. This is a really, really good Ball State team. So for them right now, they're proving, at least for me, why they're number one in the MAC at this moment.
Lots of reasons why that is. Forlin serves again. It's an ace, the first ace of the night for the Bulls and first ace of the match. Make that the 18th ace for Forlin of the season.
Forlin last game had herself a nice night in those 5 sets. 17 kills and 7 digs against Miami.
Forlin hails from Brazil, so long way to Buffalo. Wolanski setting for the Cardinals. Back to Buckley again. She's been busy and she's been successful. Another kill for Madison Buckley off the block going out of bounds. She heads to the bench in celebration.
Again, her entire career, she has stepped up when she's been called upon. And right there, another moment where she gets her name called, steps up, gets the job done, gets another point for the Cards.
Lukas seeing a lot more of Lindsey Green tonight. She's out to serve again. Gets us started. Forlin setting. To her sister, it's Abby Lee. It's inbounds, a line shot from Mandy Lee. And what can you tell us about that sister connection?
Well, that's something that you can't teach. That's chemistry right there, and that's years and years of not only playing with each other, but knowing everything about each other.
Those two have had plenty of time to pathologize that exact play, and it pays off. Carson Tyler rolls it over. Easy recovery for the Bulls. Tipped up, and Kennedy could not get there. Looked like she lost her balance there. She went for it. So it's 11:15. That's going to take us to the media timeout, but we'll stay with you and talk a little bit more about what we've seen so far in set number 1. The Bulls up 15-11, but the Ball State Cardinals have been bouncing back as it's gone on. Who are you looking for to start off with on the Buffalo Bulls side to continue their success?
Well, Forlin has really turned up recently. She's gotten a few kills in a row, and she has done a great job attacking against the Cardinals. She's gotten some opportunities where she's messed up, but recently she's really turning it up, and I think that you continue to go with her. She's your best attacker, and I think that you go to the best. When you want a point, you go to their best player.
Forlin 5th in the MAC in kills per set with 3.36. So definitely a great player to go to. I look to the other side, and I think Madison Buckley, 4 kills so far. Both Lindsey Green and Megan Wolanski have liked going to her so far. What have you seen from Buckley?
Well, Buckley has just done a great job of where the opportunity has risen, she's risen as well. So far, her team, especially with Anaya Kennedy and Carson Tyler not really getting any kills so far, she's stepped up and has done a great job of getting her team when they need her.
A team that has been on the rise on the other side of the court, the Buffalo Bulls, improving a lot over the past couple years, and that's in large part due to their head coach, Scott Smith. Just a couple of seasons with the Bulls. I know you talked about it in the pre-match show, but let's fill everyone in. What does his resume look like? What has he done for this team?
Well, he's been a coach on this team for about 10 years now, but he's been a head coach for just on his 6th season. And he's done a great job so far, really turning this team around to being one of the up-and-coming best teams in the MAC.
Had their best ever season last year as a Division I school. We're 23-9. Abby Lee serves it away to Green. Now to Carson Tyler, her first kill, line shot. Too easy for the freshman Carson Tyler.
And that's what I was thinking after that break. You know who really needs to get going? Carson Tyler. She's been the star attacker for the Cardinals so far this season. And right now, she needs to step up big time to get her team back to this first set.
Had 13 kills last night. Serves it too far is Carson Tyler. Service error for the Cardinals. 16-12, Bulls lead.
And that's just one of those things that, service errors are going to happen. But when you're behind in this first set, with how critical first sets have been for the Cardinals this year, that's something that you do not want to let happen again.
Mandy Lee, one of the sisters from Strongsville, Ohio, serves. Carson Tyler receives it. Short pass over the middle. Gwen Kroll tries to get the kill, but it's recovered by the Bulls. Trevihovska rolls it over. Not able to find any success. Now Kennedy for the Cardinals. Hits off the net. Finds the other side of the court. Somehow found its way all the way. Rolled on the top of the net. Got to the other side. Either way, Cardinals point 13-16.
Did that fall down in on their side?
It looked like it did. It rolled almost half the net. Really incredible. Not probably what they were trying to do, but they'll take it.
That was one of the strangest points I've seen.
Gwen Kroll with a high serve, that's received. Trevihovska finds the empty spot, and that's something she is so good at doing. We talked about how the Cardinals were going to have to play on their feet in the front row. That's exactly why Katrine Trevihovska is so dangerous.
Yeah, and when you're going for a kill, you have to keep your eyes up. You have to keep your vision there. And Trevihovska able to do that, finding where the Cards are not.
Trevihovska, an electric jump serve, goes into the net. That's the risk that you get when you have a jump serve like Trzebichowska. You can get a really nice service ace, but oftentimes if you hit it with so much power, it can find its way into the net.
Yeah, and you and I talked about that together just the other day in our meeting, that's something that is usually not seen in women's volleyball, so the Cards have to react to that.
Ledbetter setting to Wolanski. Wolanski sets back to Buckley. Buckley with the kill. 15-17 Cardinals. Madison Buckley, her 5th kill tonight.
How about Madison Buckley, the senior, turning up 21, getting the Cards within 2.
One of the best hitting percentages in the MAC is Buckley. Serve is a good one, but Bowles managed to get it over. Tyler goes to Wolanski, who goes far side. Ian Smith got a piece of it, and it was enough to land on the other side of the court. Going to be a kill for Ian Smith. Just got a finger or two on the ball. Bowles scrambled on defense, but could not get it.
You know what I've seen with Ian Smith? Great play. You know what else I've seen?
Yep.
Great hair. She's changed her hairstyle like 3 or 4 times this season, and I love it.
It was mentioned on the broadcast last night. No matter the hairstyle, she still manages to rock it. And a rocket comes. It's Forlin for the Buffalo Bulls.
I like that. A rocket. Tyler, you're the best, man.
I appreciate it. We still got a couple more sets to go. We'll see if it can hold up that way. Bulls trying to hold their lead. 18-16, they lead it. Libero Maria Feudy will serve, dribbles it up, sends it off to Carson Tyler. Wolanski goes setting. Tipped over, it's Eganoff. Diving play to get there from Abby Lee. Tipped over, blocked by Inde Smith. Lee's sisters try and go for something, but Inde Smith says no. Puts it right back in the face of Abby and Mandy Lee. Ball State just 1 point back now, 17-18 in set number 1.
And there's a block queen right there, doing it herself, picking up a solo block and pumping up her team. Cardinals just now down by 1.
Eganoff again. A couple times we've seen her serve tonight. Starts it off. Good serve. Diving in the back row is Feudy to get that. Smart play. Arcucci sends it too long on the kill attempt. Sails out of bounds, and this game's tied up at 18.
7 kills and 2 digs last night for Arcucci. That one not going to get her any kills way too long.
Eganoff, 3rd serve in a row, incoming. Worthen quiet as the Cardinals start to bounce back. Tip shot in no man's land. Smart play, high IQ. From the great Forlin, Manuela Forlin from Brazil. We talked about her stats already. Played for the Brazil U19 FIVB World Cup in 2023. So, national player, really, really talented.
Earned freshman All-MAC honors last season.
Serve from Eve Adams, the freshman. One of the 7 they have on this roster. Huge freshman class. Tipped over by Carson Tyler. Set back. Put right back in the face. Who else than Carson Tyler and Inde Smith in the front row to deny the Bulls. 19-19, tied up again.
I tell you what, nobody does it better up front than Inde Smith when it comes to getting blocks. That one off her left hand, and it stayed in the air for a decent amount of time, but still able to find a spot where the Bulls were not. Tied up now, 19-19.
2 blocks already for Inde Smith and counting. And another block, this time not from Inde Smith. It's Gwen Kroll up front strong. Forlin was trying to go at it again, but Kroll said no.
And how about this play from the Cards up front at the net, getting the crowd roaring as they take their first lead of the night.
First lead, 20-19. Josie Bloom serves. It's received. Lee goes and sets it to the back row. Trzebichowska loves the back row attack, and it works out for her there, finding the back right corner of the court.
Trzebichowska, another transfer from Bowling Green State, just like Gwen Kroll for the Cardinals, played 2 years at BGSU and was a member of the 2020 Slovak championship team.
Serve away. Wolanski setting. Buckley again. This time does not go. Katrine Trzebichowska, after getting a kill, sets up a beautiful block.
Trzebichowska, even as a freshman last year, as a senior last year, was the star of the show. Led the team with 403 kills, 62 aces, and 491 points. Was 6th in the NCAA in aces.
Wolanski for the Cardinals. To Carson Tyler. Does not go. Trzebichowska, another kill this time, just a soft shot in the left corner of the court. No Cardinals in the area. 22-20. The Bulls lead it, and the Ball State Cardinals call a timeout due to that. We've seen this match in set number 1 going back and forth. Seemed like the Bulls came out early with a hot start, but the Cardinals really starting to work their way back into this one. Why do you think that is?
Well, with the Bulls, they went down by 1 point. That was the first time that they were trailing in this first set, and they said, all right, I don't like this feeling. Let's go ahead and rattle off 3 in a row here, and now we're up 2 points over the Cards.
Yeah, 22-20. The Bulls, we talked a bit about Scott Smith early on. Let's shift to the other side to Kelly Miller-Phillips for the Ball State Cardinals. A bit of a different story. She's been here for a while, not just as a coach, as an assistant coach, and as a player.
Yeah, played libero at Purdue, and she finished with the program high in digs in 2013 and digs per set with 4.05. She is probably the best libero in Purdue history.
Sure is. A huge native of Muncie, played here a lot of the time. This place near and dear to her heart, and it's got to be something special to come coach a team that you've seen for so long, been around the Indiana area, played college volleyball at Purdue, so really impressive stuff from Kelly Miller-Phillips. What do you think the message to her team was?
Look, guys, we've been in this situation before. We know what to do. Let's go out and execute. Let's go out and do it. So far, the Cardinals have done a nice job of really not just allowing Buffalo to rattle off points consecutively, but right now, Buffalo had 3 in a row, and it's 22-20. It's getting close to that 25-point, to the race to 25, and they just need to get some points off in a row here and close out this first set.
They sure do. About to get the final part of set number 1 going. The officials just clarifying before the whistle goes. There it is. Manuela Forlan, who's been busy tonight. Busy at the service line. Tyler able to get it to Wolanski, setting. Back to Tyler. Line shot goes out of bounds. No Bulls in the area. 23-20. Bulls getting closer and closer to a set 1 victory.
And that's one where you expect Carson Tyler to end up with a point for the Cards, but just not in the right spot, just a little bit too far to her left and out of bounds.
Forlan again serves. Wolanski goes back set to Buckley. Best of the night for her, and she's got another kill added to her total.
Number 6 already for her.
It's just set number 1.
She had 4 kills and 6 blocks last night, already coming up with 6 kills here in set number 1.
Season high is 13 kills, 6 in set number 1, so a strong start for her. Lindsey Green back in and back with an ace. Lindsey Green steps right onto the court and makes an impact. 22-23, Cardinals still very much in it.
And that's just a silly mistake by Buffalo, and now they're going to call a timeout. Seem to just not be in the right spot, not ready there, and that'll cost them a point.
It's funny how much a timeout can really change the tides. Ball State, after getting back in it, started to fall. They used a timeout. The Bulls got a point coming straight out of the timeout, but after that, the Cardinals started to fly back into it. And let's shift the focus now to the Buffalo Bulls side of things. Scott Smith, what do you think his message is to the team after what we've just seen in the past couple of plays?
It's only 2 more points. That's all we need, just 2 more. You need to give me 2 more plays here where you can score a point. And that's it. I mean, all you got to do is go out there and do your best. With the Cardinals, that's such a great team, and there are going to be players who are just gonna beat you. Anaya Kennedy, when she gets in her zone, she's just going to simply beat you. And Carson Tyler, when she's in her zone, she's going to beat you. What you cannot do is allow them to do that right now.
Right.
So Carson Tyler, Anaya Kennedy, these players are not in a zone right now. Madison Buckley's really the only one in some kind of special zone, because I haven't seen Madison Buckley with this hot of a start in a long time, and right now it's all about containing Buckley.
It certainly has. It's been the Buckley show tonight. On the Buffalo side, they're no stranger to close matches. Just came from one last night in Oxford, Ohio, in a 3-2 thriller. They got the job done on their road trip. Second location, Muncie, 2 points away from starting off a set number 1 victory to make it 2 wins in a row on the road.
And for Buffalo, they did a great job of competing the whole way and avoiding a reverse sweep.
And that's so difficult when you win those first 2 sets and you lose those second 2. It takes a lot to lock back in. Buffalo going to have to lock in now. Lee going to Trevihovska. Ledbetter dove for it, able to get it. Good play by her. Kennedy just free balls it over the net. Set far side, Trevihovska this time. Green there for it. Carson Tyler went up and snatched that one, put it on the other side. Trevihovska again, blocked out of bounds. Trevihovska credited with the kill. 24-20, it's set point for the Bulls.
And the Bulls had Lindsey Green on an island, and yet Green still able to handle herself and receive it well. Did a great job keeping that play alive, but it was all in vain.
24-22 is the score. All of a sudden, we're seeing timeouts coming from everywhere. Kelly Miller-Phillips using yet another timeout. Let's take a look at the stats here while we have this break. We've talked about it a lot. Madison Buckley for the Cardinals, been one of the leaders on that side. But looking to the other side, Trzewiechowska has more kills with 7 kills tonight. She played so well just yesterday. One of her best games, tied her year record in terms of kills in a match. Still waiting to see some more action from Abby Lee up front. We saw it earlier on, but not as much as the match has gone on.
And Trzewiechowska is somebody who I have my eye on, because I think that Katrine is somebody who, if she gets going, she's going to be really hard to stop for the Cardinals, especially since Buffalo has a lot of different weapons. So if one player, especially with Katrine, as good as she is, when she gets going, if somebody's doing that, you got to focus on her a little bit. And what happens with that happens, somebody else is going to have an opportunity to step up.
No matter the score, no matter the circumstances, Ball State has to always keep their eye on Trzewiechowska. She can do it from the front row. She can do it from the back row. She's talented all around the court, so look out for that as we go on. 24-22, timeout coming to an end. Both teams back on the court.
Trzewiechowska, as good as she is, she's not even the leader on this Buffalo team in kills. That's Manuela Forlin.
Crazy to think the depth that they have. 24-22, could be the end of set number 1. Abby Lee serves. Held by Carson Tyler, now free balled over by Lindsey Green. Set up in an empty space. Green goes down to get it to keep the set alive. Carson Tyler flips it over the net. Set back again. Taya Shaw, who served, almost ending the set. They're going to say it hit the ground. A little pause, and they agree. The officials said the ball hit the ground. It was Taya Shaw who was able to tap it right in front of the 10-foot line, finishing off set number 1, 25-22. We'll be right back on the other side for set number 2, and what was a close one, 25-22. Number 1 team and the number 6 team in the conference will return in just a couple minutes on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is SportsLink Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
It's a matchup that's dated back to 26 years ago, almost exactly the first matchup between these two teams. Came on October 10th of 1998. Brings us to 2024, October 12th. Such a fun matchup it has been, and the reason for that is because this is not something we're used to seeing historically in this matchup. Buffalo and Ball State, the rivalry, the matchup is pretty lopsided. Ball State winning a lot of those matchups. 28-3 overall is the Cardinals. Undefeated in Worthen Arena. Bulls take set number 1. But just looking back to last year, at Buffalo, these two teams played 2 days in a row. And Buffalo coming out with both of those ones on October 20th and the 21st really changed the momentum of the whole season for them. Now a chance for both these teams to try and get things going just a year later.
Absolutely, and I've said this before, especially early on in this broadcast, and especially with Max Gillie in our pregame show. This Buffalo team has a chip on their shoulder. They really want to go out and prove that they are legit, they're a contender, and right now, there's good reason that they are the #1 team in the MAC.
Plenty of good reason. We talked about a lot of those players on the team. Trevihovska being a big one, leading the match in kills with 7. Forlin second on the Buffalo side with 4 kills tonight. Important to mention Taya Shaw hitting a perfect hitting percentage. 2 kills on 2 attempts. Set number 2 gets started. Feudy, the libero, gets it going. Libero on the other side, Ledbetter. Pass to Carson Tyler, now set up. Blocked Allende Smith. It's almost every time she's in the area, Allende Smith can put it right back down. Forlin did not have much more to do there. She couldn't do much more.
I'll tell you what, the only time in that first set where it felt like Ball State was in control was when Allende Smith was doing her thing.
Did her thing last night, set a program record in hitting percentage. Try to go up and get that one. Wolanski goes back, Ledbetter. Send it out of bounds.
Goodness gracious. That is so impressive for somebody to rise up like Katrine Trebihovska did right there and just put that to the back row. I mean, there's not that many players out there like in the MAC.
There really is not. Kira Kaleiden comes in to serve, often comes in to serve. Been successful at the line. Wolanski tried to go over, but this time it's the middle blocker on the other side. Abby Lee ready for it. She's been watching some tape, seeing what Megan Wolanski is doing. Got up there, didn't even think about stepping back. Got up and blocked the kill attempt from Wolanski.
Abby Lee, 19 kills last night against Miami, has been so good for them.
Her sister Mandy Lee had a kill attempt there. Had some open court on the back left side. Put it too far. Ball State now tied 2-2, and Carson Tyler goes back to serve for the Cardinals.
And Abby Lee has been there every step of the way for Coach Scott Smith ever since he took over in 2019. Abby Lee was there. She's a 6th year, so she was there in 2019 on his first team.
Going to be credited as a service ace, not the most pretty looking one, as Buffalo was not able to just handle it on the other side. Carson Tyler going back to serve again. 3-2, Cardinals with the lead in set number 2.
And I'm sure she will not complain about getting that ace.
That's right. Trebihovska. Lee setting. Other side looked like she might go to Abby Lee, did not. And that was a regrettable decision as Allende Smith was waiting on the other side.
Active hands for number 2 for the Cardinals. She is always ready to put one down and get a point for her squad.
Carson Tyler's team up 4-2. She serves. Near the sideline, Trebihovska goes for it. Set to Forlin. Finds the middle of the block. A skillful play from Forlin, not to try and go powering through because Allende Smith is in the area, just finesses it through the blockers.
And that's how you respond. You go up, first touch, you go out and you get a point. Great job by the Bulls.
Forlin serves, Ledbetter gets it on the other side. Wolanski to Allende Smith off the top of the shoulder of Abby Lee. Finds its way out of bounds. Kill for the Cardinals. 5-3, they're up.
Well, she's having herself a night. And not only that, she's having herself a weekend. What a game she had last night, setting a record for hitting percentage. And then tonight, she has been all over the place.
Bloom serves it. To Lee, back set to Abby Lee. A kill for Abby Lee. Batologized that play over and over and over again in college, in high school. The sister duo doing it again.
And for Lee, that's not usually the person that she's going to target, which was Megan Wolanski. But Wolanski was on an island, and she said, hey, I trust in myself. I'm going to go one-on-one here. She did, and she won.
One-on-one attempt from Katie Eganoff, and she succeeds going over the shoulder of one of the Bulls players. A kill for the Cardinals. 6-4, Ball State winning.
Eganoff has been great this season and her entire career for the Cardinals, and she's been a player who's been a little bit quieter than some of those stars, but she has been rock solid and consistent.
Lindsey Green serves, already has an ace today, nearly got another one. Forlin from the back row. Goes to Carson Tyler for the Cardinals. Anaya Kennedy, who's been quieter tonight, almost had a kill. Sophie Ledbetter had to get down and get that one on the Cardinals side. Taya Shaw has to tip it over the Cardinals defense. Ledbetter to Anaya Kennedy. Off the block, still lands inbounds. Anaya Kennedy picking up the stat, picking up a kill.
And that is not something that you want to see if you are Buffalo. You do not want to let Anaya Kennedy get going here in set number 2.
Anaya Kennedy had a strong night last night. Today, 2 kills on 3 total attempts. Another timeout called on the Bulls side. The score is 7-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Do you think this is a good time to call a timeout if you're Scott Smith?
Well, he would know better than I would, right?
That's right.
I mean, a big thing with coaching is knowing when to call a timeout and knowing what to say during timeout. And we've talked a lot about both of these coaches, former players. They understand the mindset and what's going through the head of their players on the court at each time. They know what's best. And right now, I think that was a good spot for Scott Smith, especially with Anaya Kennedy getting her second kill of the match. You do not want to let her get going. Want to put a halt to the bleeding right now and come back in this one.
You mentioned it at the top of the show in the pre-match show with Max Gillie, but any good huddle is led by the leaders, and 2 of those leaders on both sides have been the setters. Some of the best setters in the MAC, starting with the Ball State Cardinals. Megan Wolanski is second in the MAC in assists with 612, and Mandy Lee just behind her in third place, 594 assists on her resume. What have you seen from both setters early on in the match?
Well, it's actually been a little bit quieter from Wolanski than I've expected. It seems that she's been on that bench a little bit more than we usually see here, because she usually plays the entire game almost, and she has not done that tonight. We've seen a lot of Lindsey Green tonight, as you mentioned earlier, so I'm wondering what that's about, but at the same time, I understand Lindsey Green is a great, very talented player, and she's also looked pretty good here today, so I understand wanting to get Wolanski a little bit of time to rest maybe and let Green get ready to take over, because Megan Wolanski's not going to be here forever. This is college athletics after all. These people do graduate, so Wolanski needs to have her spot taken over, as that has been a spot, that setter position has been a place of consistency and no worries for Coach Phillips these past 4 years.
Looks like it may have been a challenge attempt, saw the officials pointing to one side. But either way, Ball State retains the point on that last possession. Serve from Lindsey Green, her second ace. So successful. We were just talking about her, the successor to the great Megan Wolanski. A wonderful early start in set number 2.
And the sophomore, coming from Loveland, Ohio.
Tipped over to Anaya Kennedy's side. Green sets it over just barely. Fudi goes to Trevihovska. Back of the court, Ledbetter tried to get there. But again, Trevihovska gets the better of the Cardinals with the kill.
And you cannot teach that kind of athleticism. That's something that you're just born with or you're not. And at 5'10", Trevihovska is not the tallest, but man, does she rise like no other.
Buffalo's got a couple of really tall players on their team. She not one of them. Gren Kroll rolls to try and get that one. Bulls there. Knocked over by Arcucci. Ledbetter has to go and set to Anaya Kennedy. Powerful swing from Anaya Kennedy right through the blockers and a kill. 9-7 Cardinals, the home team, up.
And when it comes off Anaya's hand, it's just a missile. Straight to the hardwood. Point Ball State. They're up by 4, and they're on having themselves a little bit of a run here.
So much confidence from Anaya Kennedy, and how could there not be after what she did last year, 2023 MAC Freshman of the Year. Eganoff for the Cardinals serves. Going to Arcucci, tipping. Good play. Lindsey Green got there. Tipped over by Anaya Kennedy. Going to count as their second kill in the row. Got it over the shoulder of Taya Shaw. 10-7. Cardinals take the lead by twice the amount of points that the Bulls have.
Anaya Kennedy, do not let the LaPorte, Indiana native get going. She is maybe the most dangerous player in the MAC when she truly gets going.
Serve again from Eganoff. Straight to the other side of the court, but the Buffalo Bulls are able to control it. Going back to Kennedy again. This time blocked, but it goes out of bounds. Anaya Kennedy having herself a good stretch. That's 3 attempts, 3 kills in a row, and that's going to be the 3rd timeout called by the Buffalo Bulls in this match.
And that was a necessary timeout because, as I said earlier, Earlier, it was Anaya Kennedy's second kill of the match that was followed by the timeout. Now, it's been a lot more than that, as she has been on a run, and you really need to contain her if you want to have a hope of coming back in set number 2 and getting a win, especially to go up 2-0 over Ball State on their home court.
You talked about it, and what we thought the last timeout was turned out it may have been a challenge attempt, but talk about the timing of using your timeouts as a coach. It's one of the most important things you can do, and this seems like it's a good time for Coach Smith to use that timeout. Talking about the Bulls, this set 2 has looked a little different than the first set. They got off to a faster start, now slowed down a little bit. What do you think has been different for them in set 2 in comparison to what we saw just a bit ago?
Well, the Cardinals seemed off at set number 1, if I'm being honest with you. It didn't seem like the Ball State team that I'm accustomed to seeing this season. I've watched Ball State play most of their games this year, and that didn't seem like the same team for some reason in set number 1. And right now, they seem like them true selves. They seem like their true selves. They seem like they're confident again, like they've got a little bit of their swagger back. And for right now, for Buffalo, it just doesn't seem like they've been able to match or respond to the Cardinals' high offense.
High offense from the Cardinals. Anaya Kennedy, who we've been talking about a lot, 5 kills, just 1 back of the team lead. Madison Buckley still holds that honor.
And she got those quickly. She got those pretty quickly and consecutively, Tyler.
She sure did. Paige Busick serves it. Lee setting to Trebihovska. Anaya Kennedy tried to get up and block it, but hit it out of bounds on the Bulls side of the court. So point goes to the Bulls, 11-6 Cardinals still with a lead.
It's so fascinating how volleyball is truly a game of inches. I mean, just the slightest change of the degree of Anaya Kennedy's hand there, and that's a point for Ball State.
I like the way you put that. Everything that matters in this sport. And that matters a lot, as it was the Buffalo defense getting up to block it, but it goes out of bounds. Gwen Kroll to serve for the Cardinals, who just got the point, 12-6.
Gwen Kroll, I talked about her earlier, the transfer from Bowling Green State. I really like what she has brought to this team, especially with Ball State not being one of the tallest teams in terms of who their tallest players are. Madison Buckley and Gwen Kroll being those 2 tallest players, standing at 6'2". Most teams in the MAC have taller players than that, but I'd say the average height for Ball State is bigger.
It was Simon who came in to serve in replace of Kroll, and immediately the Bulls able to put the ball on the other side of the hardwood. 12-7, Buffalo down, but serving.
It's really interesting. We're seeing a lot of different players coming into this match for Ball State tonight compared to what we're used to seeing. Madison Buckley and Paige Busick and Anaya Kennedy, Carson Tyler all be out there for the majority of the match, and they've been sampled through different players.
An ace coming from Maria Foodie heads back to the line again. 12-8, Bulls down, but a server like Foodie can get him right back into it. 22 aces on the season coming into today. Adding another one. Looking for 2 in a row. Foodie serves. Gladberger goes after it. Allende Smith hasn't been called in a while, almost had a kill. Back to Smith again, this time getting it done. Allende Smith continuing her momentum from just 24 hours ago with a kill, 13-8.
Well, she can do no wrong recently. She has been in a zone ever since yesterday. And as you said, Tyler, that is just carrying over here in this afternoon.
Hit a .917 on an ace. Megan Wolanski in the very corner of the court. You talked about the game of inches, just a couple inches away from that side line of the court. Megan Wolanski, really efficient, leads the team in service aces with 24. Bulls going. Down on the other side, Carson Tyler able to keep it up with a couple other Cardinals. Lee going back. It's Arcucci. This time, able to succeed. Was touched by the Cardinals, and a point goes to the Bulls.
Yep, went off the foot of Carson Tyler there in that back corner, and that's just an unlucky play where Cardinals, not really much you can do about that. Great offensive play by the Bulls.
Clyde in for the Bulls, serves. One of the serving specialists on the team. Wolanski, Buckley back in the game. Goes for a kill. Now for Lynn. In the area of Smith and Buckley, goes off the hands, trickles out of bounds near Kelly Miller-Phillips in the Ball State bench. Point, Bulls.
Well, Buffalo's kind of making a bit of a comeback here. They've looked really good in these past few points. Starting to go on a bit of a run. Cardinals need to stop that.
Timeout paying dividends. Clyden serves again. Wolanski to Smith. Off the block, the strong hand of Manuela Forlin. A solo block in the midpoint of set number 2. And that's going to cause a timeout for the Ball State Cardinals. Yet another timeout in this matchup. So back and forth. And every time we have this time to talk things over, it seems that the match shifts. One team starts to take it away, timeout called, the other team starts to do it. Now the Ball State Cardinals still with a 3-point lead, 14-11 midway through set number 2. Who do you think they got to go to coming out of here?
The Bulls?
Let's go with the Cardinals first.
Let's go with the Cardinals. Allende Smith. The first time, we just saw for the first time her not get a point for the Cardinals when she's been called upon. Right there, going against Forlin one-on-one, and Forlin, what a play she had stopping Smith there, because Smith, as we said, going back to yesterday, has been doing nothing but everything right.
Forlin, 22 blocks coming into today. Strong match for her last match against Miami, 22 kills. Her team down 3. Ball State comes out of the huddle early, seems to be confident. A quick message from Kelly Miller-Phillips. The Bulls still talking things over, down 3. Could be a beneficial timeout for them too, because they're still down a couple of points, and they have another chance to just take a breather and discuss things.
Absolutely. I believe that volleyball is maybe one of the most important things in volleyball is momentum. Absolutely talent matters, absolutely coaching matters, but momentum is such a big thing, and it's something that you can't really teach. It can really take over a game, and right now, the Bulls have the momentum. Cardinals want to take that back.
Especially when there's sets in the format of a match, a couple of sets. You can go into one set, lose big time, but if you get that momentum in the next set, the match shifts completely.
Absolutely.
One of the many beautiful parts of the sport of volleyball. Kira Clyden, after the timeout, serves it. Couple serves in a row for her. Played by the Ball State Cardinals in the back row. Carson Tyler blocked up front. Little reaction coming from Abby Lee as she got up there and blocked it. Just used to doing that. 54 blocks coming into tonight. A strong play.
Abby Lee just shy of the 1,000 career kills mark coming into tonight's match. By the end of the season, she will certainly surpass that.
She certainly will if she plays like she has been. Buckley tried to do it again, but Abby Lee on the block again, all over the court, making another big-time play.
And Tyler, you and I talked about this Buffalo bench reaction and the energy that they had before this match off the air, and I'm seeing that right now, because right now they're going crazy on that bench.
Lots of energy for the Bulls, not as much for the Cardinals. Trebihovska from the back roll. Rolls it over. Now Carson Tyler. Foodie handles it to Lee. Lee sets to Trebihovska again. Another push to the back row of the court. Cardinals there. Carson Tyler just has to lay it over the net. Set again. Abby Lee, who's been good blocking, try to go for a kill. Carson Tyler again. Mandy Lee shoves it over the net. So when the match is going so quickly like that in a longer rally, it's so smart from setters like Mandy Lee to just take the ball, throw it over, and say, I'm going to take this into my own hands and get us a point, tying it up at 14.
Absolutely, and she came into this match with 50 kills on the year, so getting over that 50 point now, Mandy Lee with a little bit of trickery.
Clyde in the hot hand at the service line, serves again. Foodie going to Forlin. Madison Buckley didn't really have to jump for it, has a taller frame on the team. 6'2", one of the tallest players on the team. Put her right back down on the hardwood.
And that was almost simple for Madison Buckley. Didn't overthink it, got her hands up, put it straight down.
Carson Tyler for the Ball State Cardinals, up 1 point, serves it. Trebihovska with the service eve. No one there on the set from Mandy Lee, just a little bit of miscommunication on the side of the Bulls. Cardinals will take it up 16-14.
And Buffalo had done such a great job up until that point of executing and limiting the mistakes, getting it back to a 1 point set. But now, making a mistake, and now the Cardinals are up 2.
Tyler serves, goes right back to the Allende Smith on the other side. A kill for her, 17-14 Cardinals.
Allende Smith, have yourself a weekend. Rising up, maneuvering her body to avoid the blocker, and what a play, getting her team another point. She has been on one these past 2 days.
That's 4 for Ian Smith tonight. Carson Tyler serve receive for the Cardinals. Wolanski to Ledbetter, who passes it backwards to Eganoff. Cross shot, held up by Foodie. Now Lee going to Forlin, tossing it over. Ledbetter again has to set. Buckley, line shot, handled by Foodie, goes too far on the other side of the court. Forlin not able to catch up to that one. Ball State a couple points in a row now, 18-14, and there's the whistle. Another timeout. I was just going to say, if you're the Bulls, this might be a time you would want to call a timeout. And another example of this match shifting after the whistle blows.
Absolutely, and Madison Buckley right there, she's had herself a really nice start to this match, especially in that first set, able to get 6 kills in set number 1, now up to 7. And she got the opposing libero, Maria Futi, all by herself on an island, took advantage, getting the point for the Cards. They're now up 4.
Both teams playing well as of recently. Ball State had a slower start in the conference. We're 3-2 yesterday. Got the win against Akron right here in Worthen Arena. Now 3-3 in conference play. Buffalo Bulls 5-1 in conference play. And a 5-match win streak for them. Confidence is high right now, only down 4. Still have set 1. A lot of time to go for.
Yeah, and especially with Buffalo, and I'll tell you right now, something I didn't talk about was just how big it would be if Buffalo were to get this win here in Worthen Arena, because it would be their first win in Worthen Arena. It would end up with their weekend and their week as a total victory on the road, would extend their winning streak to 6 games, and they would be heading back to their home place, to their arena to play, where they are 6-0 this season. They would be feeling so good about themselves and truly on top of the MAC if they come out of this match with a victory.
The Bulls 13-5 in MAC play last season, well on their way to that total if they can continue to rack up the wins. 5 in a row, trying to make it 6, but a bit of a hurdle down 4 in set number 2. 18-14, Carson Tyler serves for the Cards. Bit far of a pass, but Abby Lee able to take advantage of a good set from her sister, the sister duo, on a cross kill, coming out of the timeout, successful.
Last season, Abby Lee with a .391 hitting percentage, which was 29th in the NCAA. Right there, getting the job done.
Forlin again to serve. She's been there often. Eganoff. A nifty play just to tip it over the blocker once again. It was one of the Lee sisters in to try and block it, but Eganoff sniffed it out and just punched it right over.
An excellent play by Eganoff, getting Ball State back to the service line and getting another point on the board, closer to that 25-point mark.
Cardinals up 4, 19-15. Serve from Bloom. Blocked by Buckley for the Cardinals side. They will get the point. It did land in bounds, a bit of a question, but the celebration came quickly from the Cardinals, and they were right to do so.
I believe that was Eganoff over there making a play, so back-to-back plays where Eganoff has gotten the point for her team.
The different player just about every time we go to a timeout. Trzewichowska, who's been consistent, all the way across the court, a soft kill. It was Bloom going down to try and grab that one, but she could not get there in time. 20-16, Bulls serve, but down 4.
Well, you can seemingly float in the air like Trzewichowska can. It's hard sometimes to remember that you sometimes just need to put it softly into the right spot, and that's what she did there.
Cardinals put it into the right spot once again. Eganoff off the elbow of Trzewichowska, could not react in time on a good kill for Ball State. 21-16, the home team up.
And for the home team, 2 players who have made a decent impact so far in this match, Lindsey Green and Anaya Kennedy checking into this match.
As you mentioned, Green serves. Lee, a moving attempt from Taya Shaw to get a kill, does not work out. Kroll tried to do it for the Ball State side, again to Trzewichowska. It was up high, was it tipped? It was. They're going to say it was tipped by a Ball State player, went out of bounds, but Cardinals got a piece of it, and that did not work in favor for them.
And the native of Slovakia continuing to play extremely well. That sophomore, Katarina Trzewichowska, has been so good. Trzewichowska, excuse me.
No worries, Anaya Kennedy once again. 4 kill, 22 points for the Cardinals, just 3 away from taking set number 2. Down 1-0 in terms of sets, but 22-17 in this one. Busick dribbles and sends it away. Serve off, played by Forlin. Trebihovska again, tipping. Just like we said, Cardinals got to be on their toes. They were that time. Carson Tyler tried to tip it in the back corner, just put it a bit too far, a hair out of bounds, and Bulls pick up a point, 22-18.
And that's a point given up that you're going to live with if you're Ball State. That's a great idea. Just the execution not entirely there, just missing.
Trebihovska just missing on that serve. It was a decent serve right over the net, but just curved out of that left side of the court. Not a good time to do that.
No, not right there, especially with Ball State just now 2 points away from taking set number 2.
Simon trying to finish off set number 2 with her serve. The first one's good. Foodie gets it. Back set. Arcucci able to land it in bounds. It was Simon trying to get that. And this one's not over yet. 23-19, nearing set point, but the Bulls, if they have anything to say about it, will keep that from happening. Maria Foodie, the senior from Seven Hills, Ohio. 7 players from Ohio on this team. Allende Smith, the middle position, goes up on a moving kill attempt. 24-19, Cardinal fans on their feet in Worthen Arena. It's set point.
And what an addition Allende Smith has been to this Ball State team. The grad student transferring to Ball State this year from Townsend University has been such a great addition.
One of the best servers for the Cardinals. Wolanski serves it. This set stays alive. Buffalo able to get it inbounds very quickly off the serve. 24-20. Cardinal fans stand back up.
Right now, if you're Ball State, this is the point where you want to close it out. Don't let Buffalo gain any more momentum.
Glide in. A good serve into the net. Wolanski slides underneath the net to grab that one. She does so. Back set. Abby Lee goes over the net. Back to the Buffalo again. Tipped into empty space. It was Ledbetter getting down to get that one. Kept the play alive. Wolanski, middle. Allende Smith looked like it was tipped. If it was, that's going to be the set, but they're going to say it was not. So the Bulls stay alive. 24-21. Cardinals just 1 point away from taking it still.
And that's just about the first error that Allende Smith has made so far today. Has been nearly perfect tonight.
Nearly flawless last night as well. This time Buckley blocked up front. The sisters got in there. It was Mandy and Abby Lee getting the block assists. 24-22 and a timeout called by Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips. Just 1 point away, but can't seem to find that final point.
Yeah, and that can sometimes happen even if you're a really good volleyball team. Sometimes the other team just has a little bit too much momentum and is really fighting, especially with the Bulls. I love to see the fight for them, trying to get this second set, coming back from behind, because if they go up 2-0, they are in prime position to win this one. So for Ball State, this is a must-win set.
Sometimes the hardest point to get is that last one. That was something that was mentioned by the crew last night right here in Worthen Arena, where the Ball State Cardinals took on the Akron Zips, got the win 3-0. But a point they mentioned, that last point could be so difficult because of the fact that the other side of the court is doing everything they possibly can to keep the set alive, absolutely desperate for a point. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for Buffalo, I had mentioned earlier that they go home after this, and they have some pretty tough matches ahead of them. They will face Bowling Green State on October 17th, and then they will face Toledo the very next day on the 18th. Bowling Green, we've mentioned how good they are, number 4 in the MAC right now, and Toledo number 3 in the MAC right now. So for Buffalo, that number 1 spot in the MAC is being threatened by those two teams and also by the Ball State Cardinals.
Kira collided. It's set point to Worthen. Set 2, Wolanski going to Allende Smith. Foodie gets down there for it. Forlin tips over. Carson Tyler goes. Wolanski tried to make it happen. Could not. Now setting back to Madison Buckley, who we called her name a lot in the first set. Been more quiet tonight in this second one. Not anymore as she goes up. A second attempt to go get that one down on the ground. Set number 2 comes to an end. 25-22 is the final score in it.
That's an excellent response by the Cardinals. You have to go back and get that second set after dropping the first one. And right now for the Cardinals, you got a little bit of momentum going into this third set. You want to take that and carry it as long as you can.
No sweep in Worthen tonight. Had one last night, will not be a repeat. Set number 3 coming up in what will be at least 4 sets tonight. Thanks for tuning in to SportsLink Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes for set number 3.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptoninn.com. At munciesuites.hamptoninn.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State sports with SportsLink Digital.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. I say welcome back because there's no way you could go anywhere after a first 2 sets like we've seen in this one. 25-22, Ball State takes set number 2 after the Bulls took the first set of the day. It's been so back and forth this entire evening. As we get later on into the night, it's only going to get better. Been a couple of standout players. It's been different on each side, depending on the set. Looking at some of the stats, starting with the Ball State Cardinals. Leading for the Cardinals is Buckley, had 6 kills in the first set, slowed down, had 2 in the second one. And Anaya Kennedy had a stronger second set, 6 kills in total, 5 kills for Ayende Smith. On the Buffalo side, looking at it, Abby Lee, 5 kills. Katrine Trebihovska has led the team by far with 11. No surprise from her. And Manuela Forlin has 7. Also, not too much of a shock.
Yeah, and Allende Smith has made more of an impact outside of just kills. She has 5 kills, as you said, but she's also got 6 blocks so far in this one. She's been terrific up front for the Cards.
It's not often you see more kills or more blocks than kills, and she still has a lot of kills, but the blocks have just been there all night.
Yeah, absolutely, and she has been so consistent in getting blocks this season for the Cards. There's a reason that Evan Stowell has named her the Block Queen.
It's a great name, and she certainly has lived up to it all throughout the night. Megan Wolonsky starts set number 3 with the serve. To Forlin, nearly an ace. Just punched that one to go on the other side of the court. Forlin smacks it too far out of bounds, sending Megan Wolonsky right back to the service line. Cardinals get the first point of set 3.
And we saw a sequence very similar in set number 1 from Forlin, where she was just too strong.
Too strong. This time a good play by Taya Shaw to get up there. Carson Tyler sent to the back row. Trebihovska from the back row. Blocked by Ende Smith. Got a piece of it. It was enough to go back to the both side of the court. 2-0 Cards.
And it just comes off Trebihovska's hand so hard, and right there, just not enough height on it straight into that net.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a hand on it or it went straight into the net. Either way, Cardinals take the second point. Wolonsky lays out to get that one. Ledbetter just has to send it over the net. Set from Lee to Arcucci, blocked up front. Back to the Bulls side. Running around are the Cardinals. Wolonsky gets it over. A pancake up into the air. Great play by her. Arcucci line shot. Was it touched? It was not. Goes out of bounds.
What an excellent play by Eganoff to keep that one alive. She belly flopped onto the floor, putting her fist out, keeping that one alive, and then right to Wolonsky, who's going to put it over. Point Cards, and they're up 3-0 early in this set. Very similar to how the Bulls started in set number 1.
Well, I posed the question, was that ball touched? And that's the same question that the Bulls posed. They looked straight to their head coach, Scott Smith, and said, we need to challenge this one. He wasted no time, brought out that green card, and we got a challenge.
Absolutely, and we haven't seen, we've seen a few challenges here tonight, I believe one other, but so far it has been a lot of timeouts, just regular timeouts. I feel like we usually see a good mix of challenges and timeouts, as well. At least this season I have seen that here in Worthing Arena, but a lot of timeouts taken by both coaches tonight. They're usually using each timeout that they've had in those first 2 sets.
This time it's a quick review. It was, in fact, touched by a Cardinal, so the point goes to the Bulls. Took about 30 seconds in the review booth to turn that one over.
Yeah, and Scott Smith seemed like he was pretty confident, had a pretty good look at it, so he was probably aware that the call was incorrect originally.
Wolonsky sets to Allende Smith over the net. Played by the Cardinals. Wolonsky again sets. Buckley off the hands of 2 blockers on the Bulls side, goes in between them, and Madison Buckley gets another one.
That one going off of the hand of Manuela Forlin and then right into the head of Abby Lee. Lee with not exactly a heads-up play.
Like a game of pinball, back and forth, and that's been the story of this match tonight. That serve from Carson Tyler goes back and forth off the net, landing on her side. Service error for the Cardinals. 3-2, Cards up.
And Carson Tyler has been really quiet tonight. She was so terrific in that first match against Bowling Green State. Just dominated that match. It was her the entire way, and she has not been that tonight for the Cards.
Someone who has is Buckley. She tries to add another kill, but played by the defense of the Bulls. A defensive play. Who else? Allende Smith up for a block.
Allende Smith has just been so terrific for the Cards. This is her first year here in Ball State, and she's already become a fan favorite here in Worthing. It seems like every time she does something, the crowd reaction is really loud.
Smith, a transfer from Towson University. And Carson Tyler, talk about an impact for her. One of the players on the Ball State team. Did not serve, but watch that one go. It was actually Josie Bloom who entered the game, getting an ace. 5-2, home team up. Bloom again. And it's another ace. Make that 2 in a row for Josie Bloom and the Ball State Cardinals. 6-2. Bloom's cards up.
Josie Bloom, the transfer from Virginia Tech in her second season here in Muncie. She wants to be a detective for her career.
Sure must. This time the serve does not result in an ace, but the kill attempt goes too far. Same result. Ball State point. Josie Bloom to serve again.
And Bloom was a Michigan Miss Volleyball finalist in 2021 for high school, and that is what brought her to Virginia Tech. And then, hey, Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips got her to come over here to Muncie, and she's been a pretty good player when she's been on the court in that small sample size that she has been on the court in her 2 seasons here in Muncie so far.
A couple of key transfers on the Cardinals side. She is definitely one of those. We talked about Ayende Smith being another transfer who has made a big impact, as well as Gwen Kroll from Bowling Green. 2 players on the court actually come from Bowling Green. The star player on the other side of the court for the Buffalo Bulls, Katrine Trevihovska, also a former Bowling Green player. Never played together, but they were on the same team.
That's interesting.
It's a fun thing to look at, especially when you look at the winning culture that Bowling Green has had over the years. 2 winners transferring into programs right now that are winning often. Cardinals winning this set 7-2.
Tyler, I'm just going to inform you of something that happened real quick. We're seeing reverse worms on the bench for Buffalo right now. From a few players, one of them who just did was Eve Adams. That energy is unmatched.
It really is. We talked about the energy, and it's specifically Taylor Swift. I was watching one of the broadcasts in preparation for today, and the same thing. Taylor Swift was playing, and that whole bench was loving it. And that's what you need. Even when you're down, your bench needs to be carrying your team. It's actually it looked like it was a challenge again that we missed, going towards the side of the Bulls. So not a timeout, a challenge, and the Bulls successful. That's 2 in a row for them.
And I think that all had to do with the reverse worms. That's what brought the good luck to get the call on their side. It wasn't the fact of whether it was right or wrong, whichever way the rules dictate that was supposed to be called. It was a reverse worm for sure.
It was a reverse worm in a reverse call. Carson Tyler goes to Wolanski. Now Eganoff pounds it down inbounds. Kill for the Cards.
I haven't seen that a lot from Eganoff. Not this season. She's been very good, but that was a boomer. That sounded different coming off her hand. Not usually someone who's just going to missile it to the ground, but Eganoff, what a play, showing what she is capable of.
22 kills coming into tonight. Really did show what she's capable of. Set from Lee to Abby Lee. Onto the ground right in front of the backup setter, Lindsey Green, who's got a lot of time today. 7-4, Bulls take it, and Abby Lee goes right back to serve.
And Lindsey Green got a lot of time yesterday as well, logging 15 assists and 8 digs.
Abby Lee serving. Green set to Kennedy. Just barely touched. Tried to finesse it over the net. Now Trevihovska pounds it down. And it does succeed. The ball rolled to the ground slowly. Point goes to the Bulls, 7-5.
Is it just me, or does Katrine Trevihovska just not look like she should be capable of what she is athletically?
You got to be more specific. She can do pretty much everything athletically. It's incredible. Almost an incredible play from the Cards. Trevihovska again tried to tip it. Did not go her way that time. Anaya Kennedy, an impressive play on her own right. Tipped it all the way across the court. Sent it 180 degrees to the other side of the ground. 8-5, her Cardinals up.
And Trevihovska just doesn't have that traditional build of being a dominant outside hitter, yet she is exactly that for this Bulls team.
Really a do-it-all player for the Bulls. Do-it-all server, Katie Eganoff, serves it high, and it's an ace.
Well, what do you know? She can do it all. She can get an ace, even when it's not an ace-worthy serve.
It really wasn't, but sometimes when you put it right in between the zone of where a player can set it and where they can pass it, it gets a little complicated, and that's what resulted in the play on the Buffalo side. Eganoff again goes to that same spot on the court, this time received by the Bulls. Trevihovska hit up. Ledbetter saves it, laid out for it. Carson Tyler knocks it over. Lee setting to Shaw. Shaw with the kill, 9-6. Buffalo inching back into it.
Nice point by Shaw, but she was only able to get that opportunity to get a point because of the save on the other end by Ledbetter. Sophie Ledbetter, the freshman libero, has been extremely impressive in her freshman campaign with the Cardinals.
Mandy Lee serving to Eganoff, who just got done serving. Tyler again. Pokes it over. And pokes it down to the ground. Carson Tyler with a kill. Double digits for the Cardinals. It's 10-6 in set 3.
Carson Tyler, the kills leader this year for the Cardinals, 197 coming into this match.
Really impressive, especially when you think about the fact that she's a freshman. Mandy Lee setting back row. Diving forward is Green, and Nia Kennedy just has to hop it over the net. Put in a good spot, but the Bulls able to get there. Trevihovska tipping it as well. Green to Carson Tyler, the freshman. Line shot pops out of bounds, and Cardinals with another one, 11-6.
And that's exactly what you want to see if you're the Cardinals on that play. Finding Carson Tyler, allowing your setter, Lindsey Green, to get that second touch. That was perfect execution by the Cards.
Absolutely perfect. Now Gwen Kroll back to serve. Again, going that far right side of the court. Trevihovska was the one who received it, and the one who gets the kill just sets it to the other side of the court. She's really do it all because she doesn't always have to hit the ball very hard. You just have to find the right spot on the court.
She can beat you with her athleticism and her jumping ability and how hard she spikes the ball, but she can also beat you with her brain, and she did that right there, the second time that she's done that in this match.
Speaking of her hard ball, she can serve it just like that and put it out of bounds. It's an ace for Trevihovska and the Bulls.
Trevihovska, we mentioned just how unique her serving style is in women's volleyball at the collegiate level, and that is doing some damage.
Has a chance to do it again. This time goes a bit softer on the serve. Nearly works, but Ayende Smith gets up, gets a kill. 12-8 Cards.
31 serving aces coming into this match for Trevihovska, but was not able to get one there, and Ayende Smith was able to secure a point for the Cards.
And now it's Megan Wolanski. She has one ace tonight. Off the top of the net, a good serve from her. Arcucci blocked up front. Ayende Smith, who else would it be? But it goes out of bounds, so the Bulls getting the point. Ayende Smith looking straight to Kelly Miller-Phillips to bring that card out. She will do so. So another challenge nearing the midway point of set number 3. Man, Ayende Smith looked very adamant that Kelly Miller-Phillips needed to challenge that one.
Absolutely, and so did assistant coach Tucker Binning over there. Immediately saw it and immediately knew that this should be something that should be challenged. Got a pretty good look at it, and I have a good feeling this will probably go the Cardinals' way pretty quickly.
Based on the reaction, we don't have the replay up in Worthen, but when you see a reaction like that, you think those calls have to be overturned, so I would expect to see it go the Cardinals' way as well. But you mentioned the assistant coach on the sideline. Sometimes those sideline players can be just as important as the ones on the court, and along with the coaches. When you see smaller things like that, you bring it to your coach. Your coach is focused on the match itself and so many other things, but so many eyes to look and see where the ball lands on the court. We'll see if that one will end in a Ball State point.
For Ball State right now, it seems like they've had control of this match ever since set number 2. It really seems like they've been in control, have been in control of the pace, the momentum, and because of that, they won set number 2, and they're leading right now in set number 3, 12-9 over Buffalo.
Talked about the long night that Buffalo had just a night ago in Oxford, Ohio. You start to think maybe some fatigue setting in on the side of Buffalo after 2 hard-fought matches in a row.
Oh, absolutely, and you and I both know that this is definitely going to go to 4 sets bare minimum, but if this gets to set number 5, that fatigue is certainly going to set in for this team that not only played a grueling 5 sets last night, but who's also been on the road recently. He's been traveling in hotels and hasn't been enjoying the comfort of being at home. So certainly a little bit of fatigue could be a problem as this game continues to go on for Buffalo.
This point could be very important to which way this match goes. As it stands, it's a 3-point differential. It's 12-9 Cardinals, but about to get the call from the officials and see which way they think it's going. They are looking at it for a long time, so we'll see what they say. They point the way of the Buffalo Bulls, and despite the confidence from the Cardinals, the Bulls keep the point.
And that's not something that you see every day, especially with the confidence that was shown from the Cardinals. You expect that to go the Cardinals' way, but it did not.
It's one of those where they looked at it for so long that it had to just be that close where they couldn't overturn it. And a lot of times that makes sense to go that way. It's Maria Feudy serving after the challenge, a couple tonight. Received by the Cardinals, sent to the other side of the net. Wolanski was not able to get there in time. Quick point off the challenge for the Bulls.
We have not seen any of Cameron Wise tonight for the Cardinals, the all-MAC freshman team from last year. Player is definitely a difference maker. Not having her out there, maybe hurting the Cards.
Getting a lot of other players involved, just like Buckley, who we saw in the first set had a great set and a great play for Madison Buckley, a smart, high IQ play to just lightly tap it over the defense and pick up a kill.
And it's so difficult to adjust your body to try and get to that real soft just tip over, especially when you're expecting Buckley to just power one over and missile one right to the ground.
Buckley with her 10th kill tonight. Set from Lee to Arcucci, tipped up high. It's Eganoff, now back to Wolanski. Buckley another chance. Does not get it to go this time. Lee sets high, tipped over by Forlin. Back to the Ball State side, Forlin again. This time came right into her grasp, just slightly tapped it to the ground, and it was that easy for the Buffalo Bulls.
And Buckley getting her 10th kill. That marks her 8th match this season where she has had at least 10 kills.
Very impressive numbers from Madison Buckley. Season high, 13 kills, has 10 so far tonight. Ledbetter for the Cardinals, plays some defense. Smith goes up, no kill. Back row from Trzewichowska. Mandy Lee saw the opening. The other setter on the other side was Wolanski. Mandy Lee went right in front of her. 13-12. Bulls just 1 point away from tying it up.
And what a third set that we've been treated to. What a match of volleyball overall. We didn't expect anything less. This has been competitive the whole way.
Really has been. Ledbetter goes back for it. Tipped by Eganoff. Trzewichowska goes and gets that one. Forlan blocked by Madison Buckley. Straight back down. Bulls look to the officials. Nothing comes from them. Cardinals 14-12.
Forlin attempting an attack with her opposite hand, her left hand, and did not have nearly the power that she usually has with her right, so Buckley there to block that one down.
Bloom again to serve, and again with an ace. That's a couple for the Cardinals tonight. Media timeout incoming. That's the third ace tonight for Josie Bloom. The libero extremely, extremely important at the service line.
That one of those kind of lucky ones, but also kind of in the perfect spot where it touches that net and then just changes directions and falls straight to the floor. So the Cardinals are going to take every opportunity and break that they can, and they're going to take that one in stride to give them a 3-point lead here in set number 3.
And that's the reason why you bring in a lot of serving specialists. Josie Bloom can do it all, but something she's very good at is serving, because she can put it right on the part of the court that the coach asked for. If they want it up front, she can do that. And you're right, maybe she's not trying to hit the net and make it fall over, but either way, still the same area of the court that she was probably aiming for. So important, especially as you get later on into matches.
Absolutely, because you never want to have it be a 1-point match, or set, or a 1-point or a tie set, and you give up a serving error, because that can just be a killer of momentum, and it's an easy point for the other team, and you don't give yourself an opportunity to score again by doing that.
And a season high in aces for Josie Bloom has a chance to add to that number right out of the timeout. But an impressive performance, and especially in matches like this where it's so close, those service errors could be the difference between a win and a loss in every set.
Bloom had 2 aces against Miami, and now, as you said, has eclipsed that number with 3 here tonight. She's going to have the opportunity again to try and add to that number.
Bulls just a bit on their heels, maybe not expecting the electric serving from Josie Bloom. She serves again, this time easily handled by Feudy. To Forlin, right by the official in the back corner. He says it's out of bounds. Cardinals get the point. Forlin just sent that one a couple inches too far outside.
That one was real close, Tyler. I thought that one might have been in for a second.
And so did Scott Smith, another challenge. That one was right by us. We had a better vantage point on that one. To me, that looked like it was slightly out of bounds. Do you agree with me?
I didn't have the best look at it, but I thought it touched line. I thought it touched line. I thought it was just barely out, but really, really close and definitely worth taking a look at, especially when it's 16-12 right now in set number 3 and you have 2 timeouts if you are the Bulls.
I like the fact that we disagree about it. It's a friendly wager now. We'll see who's right. Was the ball in or was it out? That's what the officials have to decide. Going to take their time to look at this one. And yes, every single one of these challenges is important. We've seen 4 or 5 challenges tonight. And the reason is, in close matches, sometimes a challenge can be a replacement for a timeout. If you think the ball is close enough, you don't want to use that timeout quite yet. Both teams still have their timeouts remaining in the third set of play, but this basically acts as the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so nice that nowadays you have the opportunity to have these replays.
They're saying the ball did land in bounds, so you do win that one. The friendly wager over going in favor of my partner, Lukas Thatcher.
I'm very proud of myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm trying not to smile.
Congratulations to the Bulls as well for picking up another point. Now just back 2 points, 15-13. Forlane, one of the best players on the team, serves to one of the best Cardinals players, Carson Tyler. Eganoff puts it over the net. Tipped by Abby Lee. Now Wolanski back to Eganoff. Foodie laid out for it. Good play to get up. Trzewiechowska blocked.
Wow. Up front, Gwen Kroll, what a play, especially with Allende Smith not in there. He's usually doing the damage in terms of blocking. Gwen Kroll steps up big time and shuts down the lead killer tonight for the Bulls.
Gwen Kroll, very, very good up front. We talk about Allende Smith a lot, but she is nearing her total, one of the better players in terms of blocks. Almost another service ace kept up by the Bulls. Lindsey Green back into the game, sets to Anaya Kennedy. Off the net, goes down. Trzewiechowska tipped over a couple times tonight. She's tipped it to the other side of the court. Talked about it in the pre-match show with Max Gillie that the Ball State Cardinals need to be on their toes and ready for those types of plays.
And she's done a better job than I think anyone else on the court today of just keeping her eyes up and making sure that she's aware of where everybody is on the court at all times.
Very, very important to do that. Moving forward, Abby Lee serves. It's a low one, maintained by the Cardinals. Anaya Kennedy try to get over the net. Eganoff does the same as it bounced back to the Cardinals. Taya Shaw goes to Lindsey Green. Ledbetter puts it up to Anaya Kennedy. Out of bounds, point, Bulls.
Kennedy just a little bit too much mustard on that one. Needs to reel it in a little if she wants to get that one to find hardwood and not that black part of this new court for the Cards.
Seeing some longer rallies, and that will continue to contribute to the fatigue. No fatigue on that one. Mandy Lee saw it coming, got up for a block, put it right back to the Cardinals' side, and we're tied up again, 16-16, halfway through the third set, halfway through what could potentially be the match. Serve, not the greatest play on defense from Eganoff. It's an ace for the Bulls, 17-16, taking the lead. Timeout called by the Cardinals.
Yeah, and a receiving error going to be placed on Eganoff there, and that's a frustrating one, not only because it's an error, you know, it's a play that should not have happened, but because it gives the Bulls the lead, and you also don't give your team an opportunity to get a point.
And as you get later on into the set, those timeouts become more important. Having to use one there, probably a good decision by Coach Kelly Miller Phillips to do so. Have a minute now to discuss things over, and we'll do the same thing just to discuss what we've seen tonight. Lukas, every single set in this match almost seems like every single point. Momentum has shifted. Right now it's on the side of the Bulls. How do the Cardinals take that out coming out of the timeout?
Well, I think that you have to go to your best players right now. Carson Tyler, Anaya Kennedy, Madison Buckley have all had their spouts throughout tonight where they've gone on a little bit of a run, but they haven't been truly dominant for a good amount of time. here tonight, and I think that they need to find whoever has the hot hand, and they need to feed it.
A couple of hot hands on the Bulls side. 2 players with double-digit kills tonight.
Megan
Hopska
Wolonsky still on the bench for the Cardinals, Tyler.
Definitely important to think about. Lindsey Green's been holding her own out there as a setter. In a closer match like this, you start to wonder what the ideology is from the coach there, but it is important to work your potential future setter into some important games like tonight.
Wolonsky only 14 assists tonight. Mandy Lee has been out there for the majority of this game for the Bulls. As expected, she has 31 assists tonight. Lindsey Green with 9 assists for the Cardinals.
Mandy Lee been out for the Buffalo Bulls for a long time. And Aya Kennedy puts it over the net. Forlin goes to Trevi Hopska. Tipped back over by Gwen Kroll. Was not in the net, so Gwen Kroll will be credited with the block. Tied at 17.
That's a big point for the Cardinals, especially as you said, the Bulls had the momentum before, now tying it up and allowing yourself to get to the service line. Cardinals, this would be a great time to rally off some points.
Really would. Eganoff trying to get things going for her team. Serving to the back left side of the court. Trevi Hopska again. Rolls it up. Green to Carson Tyler. Puts it high up into the air onto the side of the Bulls. A no-look shot coming from the Bulls. Back again. Back row attack. Forlin was the one who tried to go for it. Now Aya Kennedy able to do what she planned on doing. Found the middle of the court. Kill. Back and forth match. 18-17 Cardinals.
And now there's a buzz in the crowd. That one got the fans going a little bit, and now a little bit of momentum starting to build for the Cardinals. As I said, now would be a great time to rally off some points. That's 2 in a row. Cardinals looking to make it 3.
See if Eganoff can start it off with another service ace. Will not happen this time. Forlin got it nice and steadily, but also a steady kill coming from Trevi Hopska. Line shot off the block, got out of bounds, and 18-18.
Gillie Arcucci will check in for the Bulls. She's been a solid player for them this season. 7 kills and 2 digs last night. And she helped the Argentinian national team to a South American title in 2022.
Service error coming. 19-18, and those service errors looking a bit more important later on in the sets. Kroll was going to go back to serve, but we saw this last set. It's Kendall Simon who will come in instead. She entered the match at the very end of set number 2, doing the same thing in the 3rd set. Simon serving. To Trevi Hopska now. Bulls continue to take the ball. Trevi Hopska again pushes to the far side of the court. This time the Cards saw it coming. Carson Tyler went cross court. On the line, inbounds. Carson Tyler, the freshman star, performing when it matters most.
And I knew immediately when that one was down that Scott Smith was going to pull out that green card and challenge it. That one looked questionable to me. And for him, he thought the exact same thing. We're going to get another challenge.
I was thinking the same thing. From our vantage point, the Bulls blocking where the ball went out of bounds. He might have a better angle than I do. However, it was definitely very close. I'm not going to take any bets on this one. Last time did not go my way, so I'll stay out of this one. I'll just say it was very close, and all of these challenges are just more opportunities for these teams to talk things over, and we could see a shift to tie this game up. 2018 as it stands, but could end up being 19-19.
Wouldn't be surprised if this one went to 5, Tyler. This one has been very close the entire way. It's been extremely competitive. It's been neck and neck, and that's exactly what you want to see as a fan of the sport. You want to see competitive volleyball. You want to see good volleyball. That's what we've been treated to tonight.
It just does have that feel, doesn't it? I mean, very easily one of these teams could come out from this challenge and dominate and take that into the 4th set, but the way it's gone all night, it just doesn't feel like that's going to be the case.
Not really. It's just both teams have done such a great job of doing something that's so important, and that's responding. You have to respond to what's thrown at you, and you have to just come back with something, and both teams have been able to do that, and that's mainly been out of timeouts, honestly. When one team has gotten momentum, which has not been often throughout this match, the other team has called a timeout, come out of that timeout and has been able to regain a little bit of momentum.
A good challenge coming from the Bulls. It was, in fact, out of bounds, so it is 19-19 tied up what feels like 5 times in the past 10 points. Not who the Cardinals want to see at the service line. Trzewichowska, one of the best all-time in the MAC this year. First in aces in the MAC. Here's that jump serve. A bit softer this time. Gets it over. Green setting to deny Kennedy. Kennedy, same thing she did last time. Right in the heart of the court. Kill for the Cardinals, 20-19. 5 points away from taking set 3.
Again, these two teams are competitive. These two teams really want to win, and they know how to win. They're responding to what's thrown at them. Call doesn't go their way for the Cardinals. The challenge is overturned. All right, let's respond and Kennedy get us a point.
Wolanski back into the game, and she serves. Lee setting to Arcucci. Cross shot to Wolanski. Now Ledbetter has to go and pass it. A little behind where Carson Tyler wanted to be, but still able to get it to the other side. Arcucci, cross shot blocked. Inbounds, Allende Smith and Carson Tyler in on the block. 21-19.
That was a momentum grabber right there. Carson Tyler one-on-one, making the big play, talking a little smack and getting the crowd going.
And we're talking some smack. We talked about the energy that the Bulls were bringing. The Cardinals starting to match that, especially as we get later on into it. The bench loved that one. Both Carson Tyler and Allende Smith were absolutely feeling themselves after that great performance. And Scott Smith seemed to agree. He figured it was time to try and slow down the energy from the Ball State Cardinals and use yet another timeout.
And talking about that energy for Buffalo, that's so impressive because they travel the furthest in the MAC to be able really to get to each spot, all the way out in Buffalo, New York, and traveling to yesterday Miami of Ohio, and now on the road today here in Muncie, Indiana. So they must really, really love playing volleyball because they have so much energy on that bench, even though they have been probably exhausted and tired traveling on the road and playing 5 grueling sets last night.
Not something you think about often, but yes, Buffalo, farther away from most teams in the conference, has to travel a lot farther to each game. These players on the Bulls squad, very conditioned on the court and off the court to have the energy. Very important in the leadership of Scott Smith. Both teams coming out of their huddles, getting ready to finish off the final act of set 3.
For Ball State, this is, again, when you're ahead at this point in the set where it's 21-19, if you lose this set, that doesn't feel good. It really doesn't feel good, especially not for the rest of the match.
Certainly right about that. Wolanski kicks us off. Andy Lee tried to be tricky. Cardinals there for it. Carson Tyler popped it over. Foodie goes to Forlin. Ledbetter sets it up. Back to Tyler now. Sets it across the court. Tia Shaw right over the arms of Allende Smith. Cardinals think it's still a bit of confusion. Play stopped for a second, but we play on. Now off Ledbetter and a kill for Tia Shaw.
Bringing it back within 1. Tyler, this has just been so close the entire way, and I cannot see that changing anytime soon.
Both teams still have 1 timeout. Kind of expect to see those used at the 21-20 score. Cardinals still lead, but on the service seat. Libero Foodie serves to Ledbetter. Now Wolanski. Buckley back into the game. It was Abby Lee trying to get there. Back to Carson Tyler. Blocked up. Ledbetter there on the defensive side. Tyler again. Cross court. Trzewichowska from the back row. Madison Buckley able to contain that one. Wolanski quick set to Allende Smith, but quicker response from Abby Lee in the front row, getting a block. 21-21.
Excellent play up front for Buffalo, especially being able to stop Allende Smith, who's been on fire the last 2 days. To keep her contained is going to be big, especially with this at 21-21 in set number 3.
Feel like I keep saying it. It's a tie ball game once again. Ledbetter in the back row. Allende Smith. Good play by Foodie to dig that one up. Wolanski. Now over to Buckley. Off the block, Buckley another kill. Already has double digits kills tonight. Make that 11 for Madison Buckley.
Buckley's career high in kills is 14, and the highest that she's had this season is 13, so we could be seeing a career high or maybe season high night for Madison tonight.
Carson Tyler, who lives less than an hour away from Buffalo University, serves it. Ledbetter has to go to Buckley, who just sets it over on a free ball. Set by Lee. Arcucci tried to finish it off, not able to do so. Ayende Smith tried to get the ball over the net. Was not able to do so, so Buffalo with the point, 22-22. Guess what? We're tied.
Absolutely, and I expected Smith to go up and try and set that one, and seemed like she maybe tried to do a little bit of trickery. She feels more comfortable putting the ball over the net than setting it up, and just couldn't execute what she was trying to do.
A good server to have is Clyden, and she gets an ace. Went to the back row, and Bulls take a lead, 23-22, and there it is. The whistle blows. Timeout coming from Ball State. They are out of timeouts in this set, at least, but you expect them to keep using timeouts as this match goes forward. Seemed like they had everything going in their favor. Then it was back and forth for a while, and now down for the first time. They were tied a bunch, but it's different when you're down that 1 point.
Absolutely, and now, right now, this set has the opportunity to go further than 25 points because, as you and I know, you have to win by 2 in a set to be able to claim the victory.
Win by 2. This is one where you can see it ending in like a 32-30 score or something like that, the way it has gone.
And that's something that when I was calling the Bowling Green State game a couple weeks ago here in Worthen Arena with Ball State and Bowling Green, we had a set number 3 where it went down to 30 points, and that was an unbelievable match. Were you there for that one, Tyler?
I was, yes.
That was an unbelievable match the whole way through, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of the vibes with the same thing here with this one tonight.
It does feel exactly that way. Bowling Green was atop the conference for such a long time, dropped their last 2 matches, and now it's the Bulls atop the conference playing the Cardinals. Looking for their 6th win in a row. A set 4 victory would be a great start to that. Kira Clyden, whose parents both played at Buffalo. 1 basketball, 1 soccer serving. Set up, Ayende Smith in the middle. Attacks it twice. Bulls able to get it. Blocked by Buckley. Foodie goes for it. Now tipped over on the Ball State side. Eganoff just has to pass it over the net. Lee setting. Moving play by Abby Lee to try and get the set from her sister. Now Buckley with the chance. Through the block, but able to be contained by Chubby Hofska in the back row. For Lynn, blocked up. Buffalo just has to throw it to Ayende Smith on the other side. So does Wolanski, but Ayende Smith ends up in the net. 24-22, and all of a sudden, it's set point in Worthen.
Wow. Ayende Smith, perfect positioning for her. That's where she's comfortable. That's where she does damage, and just not able to execute right now. Buffalo doing an excellent job here in set number 3 to come back.
Not the most excellent serve from Clyden. She's been very consistent at the line, but just needed 1 more point to finish it off. And a good server coming in for Ball State. Josie Bloom, we've talked about her performance at the service line today. Has 3 aces, could really use one, down 23-24. And set point. Foodie passing to Abby Lee. Abby Lee finished off the match last night with a kill. Tipped over by Eganoff, trying to keep the Cardinals in it. Pass to Chubby Hofska, too far. No touch from the Cardinals, 24-24.
So this one, as correctly predicted by myself, will go past 25 points.
You got a couple of good predictions tonight.
Just a few.
And who would have predicted another timeout? So no more timeouts remaining for either team after this one. Tied at 24. This one will not end at 25, at least 26. Could be more than that, like we've talked about. Seems to be this way, the way this match has gone.
For the Cardinals, that they've done an excellent job tonight. I'm going to bring it up again of responding because they did not respond well to Buffalo's attempts of coming back in this one. And then, before you know it, Buffalo's in the lead. Ball State doing a great job climbing back, saying, all right, we had this set, we gave it up. Now we're going to do our best to try and get this one back because set number 3 is a big one. It's kind of like, you know, an NBA in the playoffs when there's game 5 and game 3, whatever like that, where whichever team wins takes the lead in the series. This is one where it's tied right now. Whoever wins this set is in prime position to take home the victory in set number 4.
Right now, no one in prime position, tied 24-24. Taking a look at some of the game stats tonight, starting with kills, the Bulls have 43, Cardinals have 37. A .190 hitting percentage for the Bulls and just a .35 for the Cardinals. So both teams not doing very great up front. 40 assists for the Bulls, 35 for the Cardinals. We look to the service aces, and 6 for the Bulls and 8 for the Cardinals. Josie Bloom has 3 of those. Which of those stats stands out to you?
Really the service aces. It's 14 total aces here in set number 3 is really impressive for both teams. As right there, Tyler, can you tell us what happened?
I sure will. Another challenge that we missed. I guess they're bringing out the card too quickly. Bulls challenged that final play of the set and succeeded. So that is going to wrap up set number 3 in Worthen Arena. The Bulls take it 25-23. One more set could be all it takes if the Bulls get a victory. We'll find out what happens next on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll see you soon.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Or to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
The clock ticking down. 53 seconds until we see set 4 action in Worthen Arena. Could be the decisive set of the match. And Lucas, we've talked all night about how this one feels like it's going to go to 5 sets. But if you're just tuning in, right now the Buffalo Bulls up 2-1. Just need one more to come out of Worthen with a win.
Well, the Bulls have a tough road ahead of them because Ball State is not a team that quits. Earlier this year, they really impressed me when they went up against IU, dropped the first 2 sets, and then fought their way back to take it to 5 sets. Was really down to the wire, and then dropped it, lost the game in set number 5. But what a battle against a really good team, a Big Ten school in that IU team. So they showed a lot of fight in that game. They showed a lot of fight in the first game against Bowling Green State, where they dropped it in 5 sets. So I really expect this Ball State team to come out firing with nothing to lose here in set number 4.
Nothing to lose, but they need to make sure they can try and get this one done. It's still early in conference season, so a loss would not be too terrible for them, but after last night, a 3-0 win, wanting to continue with that streak.
Yeah, and for Buffalo, we've mentioned how great it would feel to get win number 6 in a row, win number 1 in Worthen Arena all time, and win number 4 against Ball State all time. Because this is historically, again, we are not used to seeing Buffalo up 2-1 against Ball State in women's volleyball. Ball State has dominated the all-time matchup, 28-3.
Just takes one more set victory to make that 28-4. Last year, Buffalo got 2 of those 3 victories almost exactly a year ago. A couple of the Bulls players, as we talk about, dancing on the sideline, getting ready for set number 4. It's Maria Feudy once again serving. Getting us started, Carson Tyler. Set from green to Anaya Kennedy, blocked by Abby Lee, screaming with inside the huddle. A huge block from Abby Lee and the Bulls.
And that's an unfortunate play for the Cardinals. If Eganoff was not right there, that would have gone out of bounds against Buffalo, but just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunate point for Buffalo.
Sometimes that happens. It's just an unfortunate circumstance in the wrong place. Carson Tyler in the right place to receive that one. Eganoff puts it too far out of bounds. Second point in a row. Goes, no it will not, it was tipped. Last second the officials came in and changed their mind, saying it was tipped. So Eganoff will go back to serve. Eganoff has one ace and one service error tonight. She serves it. This time won't get either, as it goes to Luli Arcucci. Lightly tapped it up front, went in bounds, point going to the Bulls.
Arcucci, the freshman middle blocker, standing at 6'3", has been excellent this season for the Bulls from Luan de Cuyo, Mendoza, Argentina.
Have not called her name as much tonight. Still 6 kills, but someone who's often a little bit more involved. Involved at the line of the Bulls, serving. Anaya Kennedy. It's inbounds just barely. Anaya Kennedy with the finesse touch, making it 2-2.
And this match so far has felt like a game of tug of war, Tyler. Just pulling, eat both sides, back and forth.
Just like the end of the last set. It's tied up. Lee setting to Forlin. Middle of the court. Josie Bloom in there. Carson Tyler tried to put it over. She did, but Bulls there to respond. Bloom on the ground again to pick that one up. Anaya Kennedy, strong kill. She's been smacking the ball very hard tonight and does it again.
And when she gets in the zone, she is almost impossible to stop. I've already said this tonight, but it's just a fact. Right now, the Bulls really need to not let her get in a roll.
Bloom serving again. So much success for her. Mandy Lee tried to put it right over the net. The Cards responded. Bulls not able to respond to a soft kill attempt from Carson Tyler in the middle of the court. 4-2, Cardinals in the lead.
And Buffalo looked a little flat-footed on that play, not on their toes, not exactly ready to go. A bit slow responding to when the volleyball was coming to them.
So Josie Bloom serving again. Mandy Lee back set over her head in no man's land. Again, middle of the court, this time in favor of the Bulls. 4-3, Cardinals still lead.
And I don't want to make another prediction here, but we could see another set that is extremely close here in set number 4.
This time I'll agree with your prediction. It's up. Couple players in front trying to get that one. Iande Smith, one of the ones in there for it. Carson Tyler, cross shot, held up by the Buffalo Bulls. Trevi Havska tried to put it over the net. Now Anaya Kennedy with a chance of her own. Sails it too far out of bounds. No touch. Point goes to the Buffalo Bulls.
Just a bit too much. Kennedy not really able to find a spot on the court where there was no Bulls, and excellent defensively. Buffalo tying it up.
You said it tied at 4, and it's Forlin serving. Back to Anaya Kennedy. Just got a kill, adding another one to her resume. That's 2 kills in a row for number 14, Anaya Kennedy.
Yet after that, Anaya Kennedy will now take the lead in kills tonight for the Cardinals with 12.
Kennedy heads to the bench with that number in her pocket. It's Megan Wolanski now back to serve. Feudy able to handle it. Set up. Sliding shot from Abby Lee, blocked by Ende Smith, goes out of bounds. So the sister connection, once again, is true.
And those two have just been so excellent for this Buffalo team all season long. And that's got to be a real treat to be able to play with your sister at this level.
It really, really must be. So lucky for those two to play together for so many years. Players been playing for so many years. Trevi Havska, line shot, one of the hardest kills we've seen all night.
Yeah, that one just barely able to stay inside the lines. We'll get a look at it, and it looks like that one was real close.
No challenge from Kelly Miller-Phillips, so we'll continue play. Lindsey Green back in, setting. Middle to Buckley. Buckley shifts to the outside. Wolanski setting. Carson Tyler had to go up and get that one. Wolanski again to Smith. Smith finds the open area of the court. 6-6, all tied up once again in set 4.
I believe that kill by Trevi Hoska had to have been touched by a Ball State player, right? Because that one looked like it was definitely out of bounds.
It was definitely very close to the out of bounds line. May have been touched. I didn't see a signal, but either way. 6-6, and either way, an ace from Carson Tyler, the freshman phenom, with an ace.
Carson Tyler has been so awesome this season. Fans here in Muncie have really loved her and enjoyed watching her play, especially with Anaya Kennedy going down for injury a little bit at the beginning of the season. Carson Tyler stepped up.
That was her second ace of the night and now her third service error of the night. That one goes too far, flying out of bounds, tied at 7.
Carson Tyler, if the Ball State Cardinals are going to want to come back in this one, she's going to need to be a big part of that.
Busick entering the game, now passing. Going for a kill attempt, did not pay off. That was Eganoff in there. Iende Smith in the middle, tried to make something happen, could not. Buckley, that tall frame, got up and blocked a potential kill. Soft shot from Trevihovska. That time she goes too far. Katrine Trevihovska sends it out of bounds, giving the Cardinals another point. 8-7, Cardinals lead.
And you could kind of see Trevihovska with the frustration starting to mount here. Frustrated herself, not able to execute on that play, and gives the Cardinals the lead.
Smith now to serve. Had such a good night last night. Not the greatest of serves. That one very close to the corner of the court. They'll say it's out of bounds. The official right there, no one had a better look at it than him.
A bit of an awkward way to get out of the way of the ball by Trevihovska. Just kind of jumping to the side and almost looked like she was just shaking in the air. A little strange, but got the job done.
And a jump serve from Trevihovska. Nearly got an ace, but did not go her way. Back set to Arcucci, blocked by Eganoff. Back to the Bulls side of the court. Now it's Forlin, who just has to play it over the net. Ledbetter to Buckley. Buckley had a great set one and a great kill. Madison Buckley extending the lead to just 1, 9-8 Cardinals.
Cardinals, both teams really just doing a great job of matching the momentum of the other side.
Lindsey Green once again enters. And she serves to Foodie. Set by Lee, to the middle to Taya Shaw. Now Anaya Kennedy for the Ball State Cardinals is blocked up front. Big hands of Manuela Forlin, able to make an impact, tying it at 9.
Forlin having herself a nice night tonight. The kill leader on the team with 10, reaching double digits with that one.
Now the libero Foodie. Tied at 9, serves it away. Set up to the back row. Carson Tyler there to get it. Held up by the Bulls. Tipped by Arcucci. Now out to Eganoff. Eganoff with an unconventional kill. Rolled off the hands of Forlin and down to the floor. 10-9, Cards up.
Manuela Forlin just trying to hit that one up, and it went off her hand awkwardly, rolled off the side of her wrist and down to the ground on the wrong side, giving the Cardinals the lead.
Now it's Eganoff. To serve again, a bit on a hot streak in terms of service in the past 2 days. Middle to Abby Lee, Ledbetter able to handle that one. Now set over by Lindsey Green. Set to Abby Lee, the sister combination once again. Abby Lee in the middle, making her presence known, tied at 10.
And Mandy sets up Abby, and Abby does an excellent job attacking somebody on an island. Lindsey Green by herself. Abby says, I'm going to take this one-on-one, and I'm going to try and get a point for my team. She does. Now we're all tied up 10-10.
Mandy, one of the better setters in the MAC. Abby, one of the better middle blockers. Carson Tyler puts it on the both side of the court. Trevihovska, finesse touch into the middle. Cards there. Carson Tyler again, kept up by Feudy. Now to Forlin. Puts it too far, going out of bounds. A couple of substitutions for the Cardinals as they get themselves a point, up 11-10.
Trevihovska has really impressed me tonight. Hitting percentage at .316 with 17 kills, so she has been getting it done for the Bulls.
Josie Bloom again to serve. She now gets the pass from a quick kill attempt from the Bulls. To the middle of the court, the ball goes. Set up. Now Abby Lee looking for another kill. Not able to find it this time. And Kennedy entering the game just recently. Tried to go after the ball there. Abby Lee on a moving kill attempt. So difficult to do, but she pulls it off on a slide up into the air. Abby Lee found the empty area of the court, tying it up at 11.
As you said, that is such a difficult play to make, but when you're a sixth-year player and you have the experience that Abby Lee has, she's done that before plenty of times. She's used to being at this point.
Serve too far, just barely from Manuela Forlin. Dodging are the Cardinals to get out of the way of that ball. Good move by the back row of the Cardinals defense.
And that's a bit frustrating if you're the Bulls with the service error there after tying it up. You have the opportunity to take the lead, and you don't even give your team a chance to get any points. That's got to be frustrating.
Wolanski enters the game once again to serve. It's a good one. Trzewichowska tapped over, but blocked by the Cardinals before it could get there. Trzewichowska tries again. Ledbetter tried to get down to get that dig. Not able to pull it off. It's a kill for Trzewichowska.
Trzewichowska, 18 kills now tonight. She had 17 kills in that 5-set match last night and has already eclipsed that, even though we're only at set number 4.
And a .325 hitting percentage, a strong night from her. Smith tried to go up and slide to get that one. Ledbetter has to dive and get it. Smith got up, found the ball, was a bit behind her, but still managed to get the kill onto the other side of the court. Ayende Smith gets the Cardinals back into the lead, 13-12.
That's so impressive that she can contort her body to be able to hit that ball, which was behind her. And it's even more impressive that she got that to the opposite side.
It's really tough to understand how difficult it is once you're already in the air to reach back and still make that play. Really impressive from Smith. Now Lee to Trzewichowska. Whistle blows. One of the Cardinals were in the net. So the Bulls get the point, tying it back up at 13.
I believe that was Smith just getting a little too greedy, getting too close, and unfortunately on that Buffalo side.
Tough to blame her when you have a setter like Mandy Lee that's so lethal in terms of setting it right over the net. You want to just creep up to that net in time. This one creeps too far out of bounds on the serve from Mandy Lee. Service error, 14-13, Cardinals up.
And thus, that setter, Mandy Lee, that's that experience that she has being a 4-year starter here for Coach Smith, Coach Scott Smith here at Buffalo. Has the experience and knows exactly where to put it every time.
No timeouts called tonight. Approaching the media timeout. It's 14-13. Carson Tyler, or Kendall Simon, excuse me, comes in to serve. Set from Lee to Taya Shaw. It's Wolanski getting down to get that one and now passing it over. Foodie to Lee. Slow attack coming from Katrine Trzewichowska, blocked by Eganoff, but it goes out of bounds. Point Buffalo.
Excellent job of capitalizing when you have what is maybe your best attacker in a one-on-one situation. No double team, and the Buffalo Bulls are going to take advantage there, getting the point and tying it up.
Serve from Trzewichowska. Almost too hot to handle, but the Cards get there, and a kill from Madison Buckley is successful near the end line, but it goes inbounds. There's the buzzer. It's the media timeout. Team's going to take a brief break to discuss things over, but we'll stick around to discuss things as well. Lukas, it's been so back and forth, and we've been saying this for the past really set and a half, and other than the first set, it seems like it's just been back and forth. We mentioned that pinball match, and how do teams try to change that? I believe it's been 1 point Cardinals, 1 point Bulls, back and forth, back and forth. How do you get out of the rhythm like that?
Well, I mean, so far, I'm not really sure because I've been so surprised that I haven't seen either team really control momentum at all this match. It has been this way for the entirety of this match. So right now, I've been saying what I've been saying before was try and find the hot hand if you're Ball State or try and find the hot hand if you're Buffalo, but either team has really been able to do that.
Yeah, the ball's been getting spread out very nicely today. A couple of key players on the Buffalo side. Trzewichowska has 19 kills tonight. She has played very, very well.
And it's even more spread out for the Cardinals. Buckley leading the way with 13 kills. Kennedy with 12. Carson Tyler has 6. Eganoff has 6. So it's really spread out for the Cardinals as well.
sort of a nod to the defenses on both sides to not allow any player to get too hot. They've been well positioned all day long. We'll need to continue to do that as we come out of the media break in the fourth set.
Both teams have been excellent defensively tonight, Tyler. I'm really glad that you mentioned that. You know, we usually see this Ball State women's volleyball team, and they can have a dominant offense at times, and they can dominate an entire set. They have not had the opportunity to even come close to dominating for even 5 points in a row.
Let's see if that changes out of the timeout. Lee setting back row. Trebihovska sails out of bounds, and the Ball State Cardinals get the point. Up 2. It's been a while since we could say that.
Yeah. So maybe that momentum is starting to build for the Cardinals. But again, I'm going to hold my tongue on that, Tyler.
See if Lindsey Green can build on it from the service line. Set from Lee to Taya Shaw, back to Lindsey Green again. Ledbetter has to pass it to Anaya Kennedy off the block. Foodie able to get there. Now Lee going back to the other side, and Emma Converse enters the game. First time we've called her name tonight. The freshman from San Antonio, Texas, comes straight into the game and makes her name known.
Converse freshman, 6'1", attended Deer Creek High School in San Antonio. She was an Under Armour All-American coming out of high school.
So it's 16-15. Cardinals still with the lead. Foodie serves. Quick attempt to Anaya Kennedy, does not go. Now Trebihovska from the back row, in between two defenders, and it goes down. Trebihovska like a hawk back there, striking when you don't expect it.
Goodness gracious, Tyler. And that got that bench pumped up for Buffalo. That was a ridiculous kill off of Tyler and Ledbetter. What a play.
If you're the Bulls and that doesn't get you pumped up, I don't know what will. Excellent play from Trebihovska. Now the set, back row this time for Carson Tyler on the Cardinals side. Abby Lee throws it over her head and gets it inbounds. Bulls take the lead again, 17-16.
Now we're starting to see that momentum build for Buffalo. Let's see if they can continue to build that and try and close this thing out in 4.
Foodie serving a lot tonight, adding to her total. Off the top of the net, Cardinals get down to get it, and Anaya Kennedy gets up to try and put that one away. Does not. Back set to Arcucci, had to reach for it, kept it in bounds. Now Lindsey Green putting it in the middle. Too low, could not handle it, was Gwen Kroll, so ends up in the net and ends up being the 18th point of the set for the Bulls, and ends up being a timeout called by the Ball State Cardinals.
And Lindsey Green has done a nice job tonight, hasn't made a lot of errors in that one. Just a bit of a mistake, miscommunication with Gwen Kroll there. And again, that's something that usually doesn't happen with Megan Wolanski in the game because she's so in tune with the entirety of the team, has that leadership mentality, can communicate like nobody that Ball State has ever had before, with Lindsey Green, a bit of an inexperienced player, a great sophomore, talented player, but missing Wolanski on the court right now with the Cardinals.
Well, the Ball State Cardinals went into the media break up with 15 points, got a point coming out of the break, and then it's been all Bulls, 16-18, and what's been the ultimate chess match tonight seems to be going in favor of the Bulls right now, just 7 points away from taking the set and taking the match. How do the Cardinals stop that from happening?
Well, the defense for the Cardinals has been really good. It's been great for the entirety of this match, and I think that that's something that they should be proud of. Right now, their offense is not usually where it's at. They've done a great job of spreading out the attack, but right now I really think that you got to get just some kind of impact play, some kind of getting the crowd going a little bit, build a little bit of momentum, get back in this thing. You're down 2 right now because if you're the Cardinals, you cannot drop this set or else you're going to drop the match. So it's now or never if you're the Cardinals.
Very important that you mentioned that, just looking for one specific play. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a kill. Could be a dig. The back row has played a bit better tonight for the Ball State Cardinals. Serve to the back row, Lindsey Green. Back setting. It's Eganoff now on the other side. Converse, who had a kill earlier in the game after just entering, gets to the other side. Eganoff off of Converse's block and onto the side of the Bulls court. 17-18, Cardinals down, but just got the point.
And I love seeing Katie Eganoff check into the game and make a difference. She was very active, as she's going to go to the service line now, but very active with a couple of attempts there in that play.
attempting to get an ace, would tie it up 17-18. Katie Eganoff serves to Trzewiowska. Foodie in the back row has to handle it. Now to Converse, over the block. No Cardinals go for it. Carson Tyler was on the ground, not able to get up in time. Falls to the ground right next to her, so 19-17. Bulls lead it, inching closer to a victory.
And right now, everything points towards Buffalo closing this thing out in 4, just by the way that this bench is reacting and that the Buffalo Bulls look livelier than the Cardinals right now.
It's Clyden serving, trying to finish things off. Back set to Anaya Kennedy. Line shot inbounds. Beautiful shot by Anaya Kennedy to keep her team in it, down 1 point.
Excellent play by Kennedy, the redshirt the redshirt sophomore, getting it done in a big way. That's that leadership, and that's maybe that best player, most talented player on the team stepping up when her team needs her.
Josie Bloom's serve went to the Bulls' side of the court. The kill attempt is true. A soft tip off the block of Ball State goes out of bounds. 20-18, the Bulls lead it, and Emma Converse goes back to serve. Serve is away. Lindsey Green sets to Anaya Kennedy. Good play in the back row. That was Kira Clyden getting up there to get that one. And a huge play from Trzewiowska once again. 4 points away. She got up. A line shot kill from Katrine Trzewiowska. She's been the one that the Bulls have been going to, and it's been paying off.
And this is the new Buffalo team. This is what they look like under Scott Smith. They're calm, they're cooled, but they're also extremely excited and energetic, and they're just ready to win. This is a winning volleyball team, Tyler.
Really is. The Cardinals energetic as they pick up the point. Tip from Carson Tyler was enough for the Cardinals to take a point, 19-21. It's Megan Walensky re-entering the final chapter of this set number 4. Worthing goes quiet as Megan Walensky serves it. Abby Lee, cross shot, miscommunication in the back row from Walensky and Eganoff, and a kill from Abby Lee. She goes to serve, 22-19, Bulls up.
And right now, Buffalo's doing an excellent job of just continuing to match Ball State, keep the pace going, and march towards this victory.
Abby Lee serves that one too low, right into the middle of the net, so keeping the Cardinals in it with that service error. It's 22-20. Number 20 for the Cardinals steps up to serve. It's Carson Tyler. Tyler down 2 points, her team is. Good serve, had to get down there was Kira Clyde, and Trzewiowska went for a kill. It's no good. Now Taya Shaw on the move. Someone ended up in the net. Gonna say it was one of the Cardinals, maybe stepped over that middle line, and either way, 23-20 is the score.
I'm really impressed by this Buffalo team. They've done an excellent job of coming in to Worthing Arena and proving that there's a lot of reasons why they're number 1 in the MAC right now.
Timeout called by Kelly Miller-Phillips. That's her last timeout, potentially of the match. Her team down 3 points. 23-20 is the score. Bulls just 2 points away from taking the set and the match. Recap of the night. The Bulls came in to Worthing, took set number 1. Ball State bounced back in set 2. And the Bulls in set number 3 got the win and now on the verge of a set 4 victory, 2 points away. One of the most important times of the game, obviously, it's do or die for the Ball State Cardinals. Need to hold the Bulls, cannot allow them to get these 2 more points. We talked about in the last set, but once you get towards the end of the set, the points get a lot harder to get if you're the Buffalo Bulls, because Ball State's going to be bringing everything they have, especially in a decisive set.
Absolutely, and you know that Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips will not allow her Cardinals team to quit. So, and we know that the Cardinals players are definitely not quitting. They're going to fight till the very end, until it's officially over. No matter what the score is, no matter what set it is, no matter what's going on, they're going to fight their absolute hardest.
It's been an excellent fight of a match tonight. Both teams landing a lot of punches. The Bulls trying to deliver the finishing blow. 23-20. serve from Mandy Lee. Back row is able to get it. Madison Buckley hits it down. Emma Converse keeps it up. One of the bowls in there defensively. Set back to Buckley again. Once again, Mandy Lee able to get there. Tipped over by Trevihovska, and now 1 point away from this match being over. Mandy Lee heads back to serve, and Trevihovska, fitting, gets herself another kill.
I compared this match earlier to a game of tug of war, and you know what? This has been like that down to the very end. The Bulls right now starting to pull away with it, just a point away from this match win.
Sure are. It's Trevihovska who could finish it off, but not quite yet. Allende Smith on defense gets in to block it. 24-21. Cardinals still down a couple, but keep themselves alive.
And the Bulls are now officially just on that hardest point to get in the match, that last one to close out a set.
Trevihovska has tied her year high in kills at 22. Serve from Kendall Simon. A must-get point for the Cardinals. From Trevihovska, the hit's too far, going out of bounds, so the Cardinals still have life. 24-22. Whistle blows, and now it's Scott Smith taking a timeout.
And I like the timeout here now, only up by 2. Still just 1 point away. All they need is one, the Bulls. All they need is one more point, and they can close this thing out. For the Cardinals, as we said earlier, it's so hard to close out a set, especially when you're going up against a good team. And this is not only a good team that they're going up against, but they're going up against a dominant home team in the Ball State Cardinals.
Both teams have been so scrappy tonight, and every point gets a lot harder when both teams are bringing all the energy they have.
And after this match, Ball State hoping to get their energy back to travel to Ohio on Friday and of next week, and then Kent State on Saturday the next day. So a bit of traveling coming up for the Cards.
On the other end, it's the Buffalo Bulls. They will play at home versus Bowling Green, and then go to Toledo, or they will be at home versus Toledo and Akron. So after a road trip for them, a much-needed break for both sides, and really both teams are going to need to take some time off to regroup both mentally and physically after such a match like we've seen tonight.
Absolutely, and what I'm so surprised by is that this year the Cardinals are 2-2 at home. If the Bulls do pull out this win, the Ball State Cardinals will fall below 500 playing in Worthen Arena, something that is very rarely seen.
Something we have never seen before is a Buffalo win in Worthen Arena. 1 point away from making it happen. Kendall Simon for the Ball State Cardinals will serve. Cardinals need this point. Foodie in the back row gets there. Now Lee has to come find it. Tipped by Arcucci, back to her again. Now Trevihovska can finish it off. Hooked back down by Gwen Kroll. Carson Tyler passing to Wolanski. And Buckley with a kill, 23-24. All of a sudden, it's a new match. Cardinals very much in it.
How about Madison Buckley? I said it at the beginning of this match. When her name is called, she answers. And right now, they wanted a senior, they wanted a leader to step up big time, and she did it.
That marks a year high for Buckley, 14 kills. Trevihovska finishing off the game. That's going to be it. A quick kill attempt from Katrine Trevihovska. She has been on fire all night long and closing it out with the decisive 23rd kill of the night. The Bulls win this one 3-1, winning for the first time ever in Worthen Arena.
What a fight by the Bulls, Tyler, and what a match that we were treated to here tonight. It didn't go to 5, but it certainly felt that way.
It really did. We were saying we would be surprised if it didn't go to 5, but you're right. It really did feel like one of those matches where so many timeouts were called, so many challenges were called. It's just as exhausting as a 5-set match, I'm sure, for these players.
And especially for Buffalo, that has to feel so good because they have to feel so much relief right now. They get to go back home after continuing their win streak and going 2-0 in the weekend on their road trip. They get to go back home. They get to keep holding on to their #1 spot in the MAC, and they just got their first win here in Worthen Arena.
Well, things are changing for Buffalo. They were 5-1 coming into this one in conference play, now 6-1, and it's one of those matches where it can decide how the season goes from here on out. You can say, oh, it's only one match, but you look at a streak like that. We've never won in Worthen Arena. We're 5-1 in conference play. We have a chance to do something we've never done before, and they're able to pull it off. It just changes everything moving forward.
Absolutely. With Buffalo not being one of the more historic or storied programs in the MAC in terms of women's volleyball, they're trying to say, hey, we're not the old Buffalo team. This is a new program. Scott Smith has built something special here, and these players are all the way in. And you could just tell by the way, at least I could tell, by the way that they react to each other and the way that they interact, the players do, that this is such a tight-knit group. And they really do love playing volleyball together, and they love competing, and they really love winning.
On the other side for the Ball State Cardinals, they come out of the weekend with 1 win and 1 loss. Bit of a different perspective looking forward to them in the season after dropping this one. How do they move forward after a loss like tonight?
Well, I think here's the deal. When you have Coach Kelly Miller-Phillips, anything is really possible because she can get her team back into being Ball State, because this is such a consistent team year in and year out where they are a contender. So I expect nothing less. In this road trip coming up where they play Ohio and then Kent State, I expect them to come in and I expect them to really, really have something to prove, because right now Ball State not in the position that we're used to them seeing, tied for 6th in the MAC and now dropping to 3-4 in MAC play this year.
Still a long season ahead for both sides, but we're going to wrap it up for tonight. It's the Buffalo Bulls coming into Worthen Arena, winning 3-1. I've been Tyler Klimes, joined by Lukas Thatcher and Max Gillie. Thanks for tuning in to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We will see you next time.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.